Would you rather start Social Security as soon as you can or see other possibilities? Lee Baldwin and Company can't help you with your feet, but they can help you find out why planning withdrawals can be as important as the investment. Lee Baldwin and Company. Find your investment answers at investtoday.com. Member FINRA SIPC.
The opinions, viewpoints, and promises made during the following program are not those of WIBX, its staff, management, or parent company, Town Square Media.
If we take the jail first, we'll have a place to lock up all the others. Then there's Keeler. He took over the bank as soon as the judge was murdered.
But I think that's because when you make tough decisions, you're left to deal with the repercussions.
Seriously, dear, I've done so many of these shows across the nation, helped so many people, and guided them to my website. And
look at this.
What is this, a joke program? I mean, what type of a program are you running here?
Here comes a ball.
Go.
Did you hear that hair?
Radio personality Bill Keeler is no longer on the air. He was fired yesterday over a contract.
Father O'Shaughnessy?
Yes.
Great Paul well in Lynchburg, Virginia. How are you?
Good morning. Go to hell!
Free your mind.
Well, and good morning for a Monday, Columbus Day, or is it Indigenous Peoples Day, whichever.
Whatever flavor you want to call it, I guess.
I guess it is. So I got to say that I'm in New York City this morning. So in a little while, you're going to hear this Columbus Day parade is enormous here, and. Of course, that's why we're here. My wife is a huge parade fan.
She's going to all the parades in all 50 states.
We had the Hispanic parade yesterday. There's the Columbus Indigenous Peoples Day parade today. It's interesting because the way they start is it all starts on Fifth Ave. Now, at the most southern part of Fifth Ave is where the Indigenous Peoples Parade starts. They start coming uptown. And then way up by Central Park is where the Columbus Day Parade starts, and they clash right around Macy's.
Oh, my gosh.
So it should be, that's not true. But it is an enormous, obviously, it is an enormous parade, and so what does Columbus Day mean throughout the state and in our area? It means no mail. Most banks will be closed today. It is a federal holiday, which started back, 1937, I believe. It was first observed in 1792. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt made it a national holiday in 1937. More than a dozen states observe Indigenous Peoples Day, which honors Native Americans and their ancestors. And I believe New York may be one of those. But there are plenty of Columbus Day celebrations today. No banks, I said. Stock market is open. City, state, and federal offices are closed. You will not get mail today.
No mail today.
There you go.
Don't go to the bank. You won't get in.
Although there are some banks that may be open today, I don't think any of ours will be open today. And here's the other thing that's interesting. Because there's no mail, I won't be able to find out what happened during the Mets game last night.
Oh,
so
don't worry about it.
That's
worry
helpful.
about it.
Yeah, I'll find out tomorrow when the mail comes.
You'll be happy to hopefully find out.
Well, I got to
better
tell you,
outcome tonight from tonight's game.
I knew Senga was going to be a problem.
Oh boy,
was he? I just felt like it. I mean, he didn't pitch well. This is only his third time pitching all season long, and I just felt like it was going to be it was either going to be good or it was going to be really bad, and it was really bad. And then we just couldn't set these Dodgers. I hate them.
I do too. Everybody's like, "Oh, I love them so much. They're a great team," and blah blah blah. I despise them.
They are a bunch of a-holes.
Especially that Teoscar Hernandez. I don't like him.
Did you see him the other night after they won the division? He got on. I got this on tape. I don't think I can play it. So what's his name with the bow tie on Fox?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
He does the interviews down on the field,
Yep.
and he's all excited. Philadelphia has won. The LA has won. They've won at home. It's very exciting. Fireworks going off. So he begins the interview, and they're talking about it, and then finally says, "What does it mean? What is it about this team? What makes this team so amazing?" And he said, he looked to the left, he looked to the right, and he said, "Are we live?" And the bow tie guy said, "Yes." And he said, "Because we don't effing care about anything." You got that? And he smiled and walked away.
Did he actually say it, or he said
Yeah.
effing?
Oh, yeah. Right on live
God,
Fox
yeah.
TV.
He's a piece of garbage.
And the only thing, listen, I get it. I get it. You're excited, but that was done intentionally. It was done in a smart-ass way. And the only thing you think, you got little kids out there that are watching this game and looking up to these guys.
And you asked if it's live, which basically says, will people hear me if I say the worst word you can say on the air?
Well, and they immediately turned on delay after that, but they didn't catch this. They should have known it was coming. And then, they're running some sort of a delay while they're in the locker room, but they weren't expecting to need it when they interviewed him on the field. But, you have kids that are watching, kids that are looking up to these players, and, and we're wondering why we're having problems with some young people today at the age of 13, 14 years old, running around the streets, trying to run people off the road with their vehicles. I guess they shouldn't be driving at 13, but you know what I mean. It's just it's an incredible disrespect, and I just hate them.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you.
And then after last night, I guess I probably hate them a little more.
Yeah, it was rough to watch. I was watching the game.
It was
and
terrible.
Was pulling for you guys, and wow.
Well, listen, it is what it is. I'm worried about this Dodgers team. This is the one team that the Mets have struggled with, and they have a very strong lineup that can really put together a great offense, and they certainly shut down the Mets completely last night. What was the final, 9-0?
9-0, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
did you turn it off at a point?
Huh?
Did you turn it off at a certain point?
I was watching on my YouTube TV. That's another thing that's really awesome. If you're traveling and you have YouTube TV, you have the choice to be able to watch. So you can
stream
your
yeah.
You can watch your local channels, or you can watch in the city that you're in. And we were out to dinner, and I had my phone right there, leaning up against the water. And
I'm sure
I was
your
able
wife
to,
loved that.
Oh, she loved it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And able to watch the game. Syracuse had a good game, although they almost blew it the other night.
Davey will be right back in. Yeah.
Oh, he's back.
Yeah. He will be. Yeah.
24-17 was that the final?
24-17 the final. They looked really good. They've let a few teams play them somewhat close, but you could tell they were the better team for most of it. And 5-1 now, and they have a real test coming up a week from Thursday when they play Pittsburgh, who I think as of last week was ranked. I don't know what the new rankings will show.
They are now ranked. They will be ranked when Syracuse plays them.
Yeah. If Syracuse can beat them, no, they play the 24th.
Okay.
10 days away. If they can beat them ranked, I think
it'll be due
time. Yeah, it'll be due time that they get ranked.
Yeah, I would think. And let's talk a little bit about this weather. Here in the city, it was 75 degrees and sunny yesterday. It was a beautiful day, both Saturday and Sunday. At home, not so much, and it's just miserable right now.
Oh, it was awful. Yesterday was just, a down in the dumps kind of mood. If you were, if you're out and about, you were feeling it, and then if you were at home, you were feeling it, just wanting to be on the couch and not do anything.
Yeah,
I
well,
was
listen,
not wanting to
we're,
watch my Green Bay Packers just put a whooping on Arizona.
We are, like it or not, we're moving into that time of year where we're going to be dealing with this weather.
Sorry to come in on the conversation late.
It does seem like it is just switched, but yes, Davey. Davey, good morning. Don't be sorry, for God's sakes.
Sorry to come in on the conversation late, but I was out of the studio doing something. But the reporter you were talking about with Teoscar Hernandez is Ken Rosenthal.
Ken Rosenthal,
yeah. Well, I don't know how you felt about that, Davey, but I thought it was a very bad moment, a terrible way for LA to start. And I'm like, this is the team the Mets are going to be facing. I just hope that,
Bill,
what happened last night isn't going to happen, and certainly it did.
I never liked Teoscar Hernandez when he was with the Toronto Blue Jays or with the Seattle Mariners. So,
yeah, well, it is.
He's a piece of garbage.
Okay, we have I want to get into a little bit. There is a huge squabble going on in Alien, and with the mayor, and he's arguing with constituents on Facebook of all places. There's back and forth. I don't know if you've seen any of this, Andrew. But
I have not. From John is it on John Stevens' Facebook.
Yeah, go look at his, and then. There's a woman, and I've captured some of the screen captured some of that stuff that we'll get into in the 7:00 hour. But it's just there are people being very critical of Ilion right now. The Remington facility is now closed. It looks horrible. The weeds are growing up there, and many other parts of the village look pretty rough as well. So there are people that are criticizing, and the mayor is saying this is not the place to criticize. Come to our meetings. You shouldn't be criticizing on Facebook. Well, you can only imagine what kind of response that has gotten. So we'll get into that a little bit later on. Ryan Schmelz coming up in a few minutes. VP hopeful Tim Walz is backtracking on some comments that he made regarding the Electoral College. And we'll talk about that a little bit. Mighty John, the record guy, the most valuable records these are scary records, scary prices
Spooky.
For the month of October. Yeah. And also this morning, Dr. Rick Timms will be on from the New York State, the statewide school finance consortium and school funding and the formula and what to expect out of this Carnegie Commission that has been put together. And the latest on electric vehicles, and is at some point, do you think the governor is going to step back and say enough is enough? We got to hold back on this. I can read the tea leaves. I don't know. We have a local author in studio this morning. Mike Curley with the UPD is on, and again another tough weekend over the weekend in Utica.
Yeah, it was several shots fired. Investigations underway, and the gun violence is just you'd think with cooler weather, and I've spoke to some police officers I know, they say, yeah, well, usually when it cools down it starts to not be so much of a problem anymore, but it has not ceased, to say the least.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's that cold, right?
No, not yet.
Is it that cold where people aren't willing to go outside? And by the way, a lot of these crimes, these gunshots, if they're not happening outdoors, they're happening indoors. So just a real huge problem that is dealt with by UPD. And it's really being dealt with by police agencies all over with just violence and younger people. Even though they say, and I'm not sure how these stats actually work, they say violent crimes are down. We're not seeing it when it comes to these shootings and young people when they should be probably at home watching Nickelodeon. They're out with real guns shooting people,
robbing people, shooting people. I try to think back to when I was 13 if I can even remember that far back, but yeah. I don't know. I wasn't focused on things like that. I just had a different view of the world at 13.
There was an amazing view over the weekend of a comet. I don't know if anybody was able to see the Northern Lights. I was looking out the window at home. I couldn't see anything. Although once the clouds moved in, we were kind of screwed with that. And SpaceX had a successful landing, or was it a landing? It's their giant chopsticks idea, and it happened in South Texas. They caught their massive rocket booster in midair using these huge metal arms attached to the launch tower. That's kind of a cool thing.
Yeah,
right?
This whole SpaceX and Tesla technology, and Elon Musk is now developing robots so that Skynet and the Terminator films can come to fruition. It's scary stuff. It really is. Have you seen those robots?
Huh?
Have you seen these robots that he's created?
Yeah.
They can cook for you and clean for you, and I don't know.
I wonder how well they really work. So far, the autonomous driving thing isn't working as well as it's been promoted.
Right.
Yeah. And let's see what else is big here on Columbus Day that I want to get into. There was a story out of New Mexico, Albuquerque, where a hot air balloon struck and took down a radio tower last week in New Mexico. There was a hot air balloon festival. I mean, can you imagine? This could happen to us. We have 3 radio towers over there.
Yeah.
This could happen to us.
Can you imagine that? Our hot air balloon took out our hot air, the ability to express our hot air.
No ability to release the hot air. Anyway, I have some audio on that. We'll play coming up in a few minutes. And here we are on Monday, Columbus Day. Michael asking this morning, okay, the Hispanic parade down there, then there's the Indigenous Peoples Parade, then the Columbus Parade. When is the Hamas Parade?
Oh,
well, I think
school's in session. Yeah,
I think that's been going on for, that's, as you said, school's in session. I think that's been going on for a little while already. And Ann in Rome, man arrested with multiple guns and fake VIP pass outside the Trump rally. Sheriff says he intended to assassinate Trump. What is going on in the world here? This is just crazy.
It's unbelievable. And luckily, security was very tight, and that didn't even come close to a possibility in the sense that there was no attempt. But the proximity to the venue with an armed person is just kind of mind-blowing.
I would think that at this point you would be worried that getting close to the former president or to the current vice president would be pretty would not be easy, and probably would not end well. But apparently these people, they have some cojones, if you will. Let me break for a second. We'll come right back here. Coming up, we'll speak with Ryan Schmelz from Fox News Radio on the latest there when it comes to the Electoral College and what the vice presidential candidate on the Democrat side had to say. Currently 6:37, a chilly, kind of miserable start to Columbus Day on WIBX.
Joe Griffo is there when we need him. No matter how big or small the issue, Joe makes a difference. He has the clout in Albany to get things done, and that's huge for all of us. As Assistant Minority Leader, Joe's helped secure over $1 billion for roads, bridges, and schools, and investments like the Odd, Wynn Hospital, and high-tech jobs at Griffiths and Marcy. We're coming back because Joe Griffo has our back. This fall, vote to re-elect Senator Joe Griffo because Joe gets things done.
Senator Joe Griffo knows our recent progress is amazing, but there's so much more to be done to keep the momentum going. Joe's committed to delivering critical aid for infrastructure and schools and supporting small business. He'll keep the pressure on Governor Hochul and the New York City majority to reverse our dangerous bail laws and stop the flow of illegal immigrants. It's time to give law enforcement the tools they need to keep us safe. This fall, let's keep the comeback going. Re-elect Senator Joe Griffo. Paid for by friends of Joe Griffo 2024.
You'll find no shortage of work to do in a New Holland Workmaster or Boomer compact tractor. Available now at Clinton Tractor. Get 0% financing for 72 months, plus no payments for 90 days, or choose cash back on these 24 to 55 horsepower compact and subcompact tractors. Stop into Clinton Tractor today or at clintontractor.net. Offer ends soon.
We are the leader in service, Clinton Tractor.
Hey, Frank, looks like business is booming. What are all those tabs you have open on your computer?
Oh, hey. Well, this one is for my SEO company. This one is for my website company. This one is for my CRM. This is for invoicing and estimates. This one does email. And this one does billing.
Geez, that sounds tricky to manage.
It's clunky, but I need all this to run my business. Wait, you run your own business, and you're even busier than I am. Don't you have all this stuff too?
I do, but I get it all on one screen with the Town Square Business Management Platform.
What's that?
The Town Square Business Management Platform is an all-in-one tool that helps me grow and run my business. It combines website, billing, and scheduling into one program.
That sounds simpler than juggling all the tools I have now, but you still need someone else to help you find new business, right?
Nope. They have powerful digital advertising built into the platform as well, which helps me keep my calendar full. You can get a demo of the product for free. Check out their website. See if it makes sense for your business.
Go to townsquarelocal.com for a free demo of the Town Square Business Management Platform. Visit townsquarelocal.com. That's townsquarelocal.com.
You know, the big wireless companies want you to overpay for data that you don't need, but you don't have to settle for that with Pure Talk. Well, you get to choose how much data that you actually want. And for $25 a month, you'll get unlimited talk, unlimited text. You're going to get mobile hotspot, 5 gigs of data. Go with Pure Talk, and you get to choose how much data you actually want. Just dial pound 250, say the keyword save now, and if you do it now, you'll save an additional 50% off your first month from Pure Talk.
This station is brought to you by Tallman's Tire, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Need new tires? Nokian Tires is celebrating 90 years of legendary Hack-A-Polito winter tires with a consumer rebate. Now through October 31st, when you buy 4 select winter, all-season, and all-weather tires, you can save up to $80 by mail on a MasterCard prepaid card. Offer expires October 31st, 2024. Experience the thrill of savings on every mile at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Visit their stores and meet their team of experts, or schedule your appointment online at tallmanstire.com.
Shop with confidence at Mattress Express with our brand name low price guarantee. When you buy a mattress at Mattress Express, if you see it advertised locally within 30 days of purchase, bring it to our attention. We simply refund the difference. Go to mattressexpressny.com.
It's fall, and that means truck season at Steep Pawnee Chevrolet. Now's the perfect time to upgrade your ride. Lease the 2025 Chevrolet Trailblazer LS for just $336 a month for 3 years with 10,000 miles per year. Or step up to the all-new and redesigned 2025 Equinox LT with all-wheel drive. Lease for $439 a month with 10,000 miles per year. Looking to buy? We've got an unbeatable deal on the 2024 Silverado Crew Cab LT 4-wheel drive. Get a massive $5,250 rebate and 0% financing. Head to Steep Pawnee Chevy on Route 28 in Herkimer or online at steeppawneechevy.com. These deals end October 31st. Steep Pawnee Chevrolet, where it's always easy to do business. Together, let's drive.
Customers must qualify with top-tier credit through GM Financial. Lease offer requires a current lease and household, and finance offers require a 2010 or newer Chevrolet trade-in. 0% financing for 36 months. All taxes, fees, $1,000 down, and final payment due on delivery. Must take delivery by October 31st. See salesperson for details.
This is Keeler in the Morning. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Well, it is Columbus Day, and for our weather today, we're looking at rain throughout the day, occasionally with a high near 45, and a pretty good chance of that rain, 90%. Are you seeing the long-range forecast, though?
Yeah, actually, the end of the weekend's looking pretty nice with sunshine.
It actually looks like pretty nice. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the low to mid-60s with sunshine. Monday, 67. Tuesday, 71 and sunshine.
I love it.
So, yeah, well, just when you think it's all over, there's still a lot of October left out there to take advantage of.
Any chance of an Indian summer? I don't know. I think we've kind of passed that point, haven't we?
I almost feel like the whole Indian summer concept is out the window with all this changing weather.
Yeah. I mean, it's traditionally been warmer longer, and then we've had cooler weather earlier. It's like there's a shift in the seasons.
Yeah, and then when it does get cold, we'll be in the middle of January, and all of a sudden we have a 50, 60-degree day. It's just weird weather.
Wild.
Did you see that this was 2 days ago? They had to close Route 49. Did you see that?
Oh, for an accident?
Well, somebody ended up being hospitalized after they jumped from from River Street.
Oh my goodness!
Onto Route 49, shutting down the highway for more than an hour on Friday afternoon, according to Sheriff Rob Mashel.
Oh my word!
Sheriff's deputies said the person. This story is from the Sentinel. The person was not released. They jumped from the overpass near the Oriskany exit at about 4:26 p.m. and suffered an injury. You see these stories where people, it's very sad, mental health, someone's in crisis, and it's just an awful way to go.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because
Davies said he got caught in traffic because of that.
Yeah, it shut down. The whole highway had to be shut down. Route 49 eastbound was shut down for quite some time while medical care was provided to the individual. The highway was reopened by 6:30. But it is what a terrible thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like you're jumping from where this is, okay, I know exactly how this is going to end. You're jumping where you might survive it. And the pain that you're going to go through is just, it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine.
Well, and, I feel like, if you or anybody is in trouble, there is help always, so reach out to somebody.
There is, and it's an easy, monitored 24/7, an easy phone call away. Coming up, of course, we are a little more than a month away from the amazing Jimmy Fallon coming to the Rome Capitol Theater. Tickets are on sale right now at romecapital.com. There are still great seats that are available for this show, and Jimmy will be up. He's bigger than ever because, of course, he has his radio show, which is on not only around the country, but in some cases around the world. And then the TV show that he does every Saturday night, which is a very entertaining program. Andrew, I assume you would agree.
It is indeed, and we love him every weekday 12 to 3 after Kilmeade, and of course the Saturday night show. But it's always a good time when he comes to town.
And then, how did we all make out over the picks over the weekend? Of course, the big pick tonight, which is nuts. I don't know what I was thinking, but I've taken the Bills. I've taken actually the Jets to beat the Bills, even though I don't want that to happen. But it's called our NFL Pick'em Contest, and there are 3 listeners and the rest of us all making our picks. And we did how well over the weekend?
Well, we'll get to that in a minute, but it's actually a good time to bring in Ryan Schmelz for this because a few of us did not give his Baltimore Ravens the credit that they were due. That would be you, myself, and Jake went with the Commanders to beat the Ravens, but Davey, Wayne, and Larry were sticking with them, and Ryan was probably very happy about that.
It was a great game. The atmosphere at M&T Bank Stadium was absolutely insane. The Commanders fans, as you can expect, with their team, giving them hope for the first time in a long time, traveled very well, and we had an absolute spectacular time. And yes, the Ravens are finally coming together. I think the one thing that was holding us back at the beginning of the year was the shuffling of the offensive line and the inconsistencies there. But I think they figured out their starting 5, the best starting 5 to have, and they're playing lights out. And they've opened up a lot of holes for Derrick Henry. And he's probably the best 30-year-old running back I've ever seen in my life.
And tearing up my fantasy team too. I love it.
He is unbelievable and just seems unstoppable once he gets going.
Oh yeah, well, and someone pointed out last year, that he was on a team that had inconsistencies at quarterback. He still rushed for 1,200 yards, despite the fact that the Titans had the worst offensive line in the NFL last year. And so I think people, maybe underscored what he was going to be able to do with a Ravens team where, we do have weapons, so there's a threat of the pass. We have a pretty solid offensive line, especially now that they're playing well. And, of course, you've got guys who have to shell out for Lamar Jackson, too. So he's kind of in a position that I don't know if he's really been in his entire career.
No, that's of course, I hate him and I hate the Ravens. But as a Bills fan, we have to hate. You know what? It is interesting. The NFL is so unpredictable this year, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
you think? Yeah, it's. I mean, I think you have some of your established favorites right now, where the Chiefs are still probably the best team in the NFL, and it's not shocking to anyone to see that. But besides that, I mean, the best team in the NFC is probably a team we didn't see coming in the Vikings, and then of course you still have the teams like the Bills and the Ravens who are still very much in it, and. But besides that, I mean, there's still a lot of things that have happened that have been very random. I think one other thing that's not shocking at all is that one of the better AFC teams is the Texans, and so I think there's some things that have happened that we all saw coming, but there's just some random stuff as always.
As always, it's not something you can count on. Ryan, on the issue of politics here. Tim Walz is now backtracking his comments on the Electoral College. What do we know about this one?
Right. So you had Governor Walz, who in the past has signed on to a petition, in many ways, disapproving of the Electoral College and showing favoritism towards a national, vote there, a popular vote, as the way to determine who the next president should be. Then he made those comments, similar comments, at a fundraiser in California with Governor Gavin Newsom at his home. But ultimately, he decided to backtrack on this because he did an interview first he did one with Michael Strahan on ABC, saying, I have spoken about it in the past, that Vice President Harris, has been very clear on this, and the campaign, in my position, is the campaign's position. So he's kind of going with what the campaign says, which is that they do not want to get rid of the Electoral College system. And then you also have him talking to Shannon Bream yesterday, saying that people have to feel every vote counts in every place in the country, but ultimately he decided to stick with the campaign's position, which is to not get rid of the Electoral College.
Yeah, and what's interesting too about the Electoral College, as we have seen, is in a couple of recent elections where there was a thought that maybe the Electoral College would not vote the way that the actual vote, the popular vote in that individual state, ended up resulting. And I think in all cases, the rules, basically the law was followed, and we presented those delegates in the very same way that was intended by the forefathers. And but that really was in place by the people who created, our forefathers who created this country, put in place because we really didn't quite trust the public. And I find that kind of interesting. Yet today it would be unheard of for us to not follow the Electoral College. Am I making any sense, Ryan?
Well, I mean, there was a time in our country, too, and I just found this out not too long ago, that primary elections really have not been a thing for a very long time.
Yeah.
There was once a time when just the political parties picked the best candidates that they could find, and then we decided at the ballot box for the general election. So, I mean, there's a lot to it there, but
there is, the reality is we have to be careful with. This is what the forefathers intended. Well, a lot has changed since then. They may very well have intended for women to be able to vote, but didn't want to do it back then, right?
Yeah.
They may have intended for African Americans to be citizens at some point and equal, but it certainly didn't start out that way. So I guess you kind of have to be. What are you talking about?
Oh, sorry. I was I had my mic off. I don't know how you could have heard me. I was yelling to Davey.
Okay, maybe I can hear you, but I don't know if Ryan can. Anyway, Ryan, so ultimately, I think we're seeing some flip-flopping, and I would say it's probably the right thing for him to do. If his policy is in contrast to the candidate, to Kamala Harris, he probably needs to back down.
Well, yes, but of course, this is going to create maybe some negative headlines for them because he made those statements in California, and ultimately that's not the stance of the campaign, but it forced him to clarify. And so now he kind of has to go out there and defend his position on this once again. And some people have tried to seize on that and try to make the argument that this shows that the Democratic nominee and her running mate are not on the same page on a certain issue, especially if he's saying it on the campaign trail when he knows, or he should know at least, what the campaign stance is, and now he's got to go and defend that.
So, and we do know that Walz is not a very good defender. He's not a very good, he doesn't explain well. He tends to over-explain.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and we thought I think he was kind of picked because I think the thought was he was a good attack dog and he was good at going on these different networks and being able to answer these tough questions. But as soon as he became the official nominee, and so did she, they really haven't done a lot of media appearances. So maybe there's a lack of experience with handling the tough questions since getting this very high-profile spot. I think that was one of the things people pointed out as a reason why he may have been rusty during the debate, because in many ways, J.D. Vance kind of has already been asked a lot of the tough questions that were going to be asked at that debate, whereas Walz was being asked them for the first time.
Well, and J.D. Vance seems to handle that very, very well, almost as if he enjoys questions that contest him. He just handles it really well.
He's proven to be effective, at least in recent weeks, when it comes to taking some of these questions, giving an answer that works for him and also works for the Trump campaign. And so, that's why you saw him have what many believe was a very effective debate performance.
Yeah. All right, Ryan, interesting stuff. We appreciate it as always. Thank you. We'll do it again soon.
Hey, sounds good. Thank you.
All right, Ryan.
Thanks. Ryan Schmelz from Fox News Radio. Are you worried, Andrew, that you can have the mics off and I can still hear you?
Not worried. I wouldn't be talking any smack, but if I have to communicate to Davey, I don't want it to be a distraction to you.
Okay. All right. So that did not go over the air. It's just I could hear it.
No, I'm wondering if because maybe there's a mic in the clean feed computer and that's maybe what you're picking up.
Okay.
I have no idea why you would hear me.
Either way, it is what it is. All right, we have a lot to get to next hour. Hoboka's free money question of the day. We'll try one of those. I want to get into Ilion. If you're from Ilion, you want to pipe in on this, there are some very unhappy people who are in great disagreement with the mayor currently, as he's doing some arguing back and forth on Facebook. I also have, I don't know if it's me or in Utica, there's been some Facebook, let's call it scuttlebutt, about the mayor, Mayor Galimi, and his sunglasses. Andrew, are you familiar with these?
I do. We saw them in studio just the other day, in fact.
We did, and they tend to be a little highly fashionable, a little out there. How would we describe those?
Yeah, they stand out, to say the least.
They do stand out, and there are some people having some fun. In fact, one person said it looks like with those they're big glasses, it almost looks like he's an insect flying through the, I don't know. Hold tight. We have news coming up, top of the hour on WIBX.
Have you been thinking about buying a new hot tub or spa? Now is the time. Liverpool Pool and Spa has a large selection of American-made spas and hot tubs. Enjoy year-round for both relaxation and hydrotherapy. Fast delivery and installation available, as well as local service and support long after the sale. Financing options also available for qualified buyers. Stop into the Rome location today on 1501 East Dominic Street in Rome, or visit liverpoolpoolandspa.com for more information. Don't just dream it, live it.
Hey everyone, it's Lisa from Fit Body Bootcamp. It's October. That means it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And if you know me, I love to give back to our community. Are you a local business owner? If so, my team and I would love to challenge you to burpees for boobies. All you have to do is contact us for more information, and we can do burpees together. This year, we are donating every single penny to Making Strides of Utica. Want to nominate your friends to a challenge? Simply donate to nominate and help us reach our goal. Together, we can make a difference in the fight against breast cancer.
It's common knowledge that after age 30, our metabolism changes. We have less energy and gain weight easier. There's a way to feel better, not in years or months, but sometimes in just days.
I'm Chuck Norris. I tried everything. Working with a team of health experts, we came up with Morning Kick. Morning Kick is a revolutionary new formula that combines all my favorite supplements into one daily drink.
Morning Kick has probiotics to help you lose weight, prebiotics for digestion, superfoods for muscles and joints, and powerful anti-aging supplements. It'll help you feel youthful, energized, and helps manage stress.
I look and feel better than I have in years.
Go to roundhouseprovisions.com, use code SUPPORT, or text SUPPORT to 511-511 and claim 40% off. roundhouseprovisions.com, code SUPPORT.
Every purchase comes with our 90-day money-back guarantee. You could be feeling these changes within just a couple of days.
Text SUPPORT to 511-511.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
From the Stanley Theater Studios, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
More American defense for Israel. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, announcing a new system will be sent to bolster Israel's Iron Dome. The same day, a Hezbollah drone strike hit an Israeli military base, killing 4 soldiers. Now, this new defense is missile protection.
The U.S. will deploy a THAAD ballistic missile defense battery to Israel. And the U.S. is also providing troops who will operate the THAAD system in Israel. It will help protect Israel from future ballistic missile attacks by Iran or any of its proxies. Israel is still considering its response to Iran's ballistic missile strike nearly 2 weeks ago.
Fox's Nate Foy in Tel Aviv. As Israel keeps battling Hezbollah in Lebanon, it's also targeted Hamas with airstrikes in Gaza, killing at least 24 people. One strike hit a school-turned-shelter where Israel says militants are hiding with civilians. 3 weeks and a day before the election, Pennsylvania is in focus. Both former President Trump and Vice President Harris will campaign there. The day after Harris said in North Carolina,
but I'm going to tell you, it's going to be a tight race.
The former president campaigned in Arizona, another toss-up state.
If you have a ballot, return it immediately. And if not, go vote. Get your you-know-what up and vote.
The man arrested at a Trump rally Saturday in California, Vem Miller, tells Fox News Digital he's a Trump supporter, had no intention to harm the former president, who the U.S. Attorney's Office says was never in danger.
Police say he was driving an unregistered black SUV with a homemade license plate, and he claimed to be a journalist that had VIP access. But when deputies searched his car, they eventually found a shotgun, a loaded handgun, and ammunition. They also found multiple passports and driver's licenses with several different names.
Fox's Brooke Sigmund Miller was released on bail. They handed out the Nobel Prize for Economics this morning. Darren Acemoglu and Simon Johnson from MIT, James Robinson from the University of Chicago, honored for their research into why some countries succeed and others fail. America's listening to Fox News.
Life takes a toll on our bodies, no way around it. Whether it's sitting hours on end at your computer or working a physical job, over time, your body pays the price. There is, however, an effective way to turn back the clock on pain. Relief Factor. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor helps support your body's response to inflammation. The difference, instead of masking pain, Relief Factor helps eliminate it for good. And it's 100% drug-free. If the pains that come with living a full life are affecting you, do as so many others have. Turn back the clock on pain with Relief Factor. Their 3-week quick start is just $19.95, less than $1 a day. When you feel good, it's amazing how much more you get out of life. So visit ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Try it for only $19.95. While we can't stop aging, not yet, we can stop pain. Turn back the clock with Relief Factor.
It's up to at least 21 people dead in Florida from Hurricane Milton, though Helene's devastations led to 10 times as many deaths. Florida up to North Carolina. President Biden went to Florida, seeing Milton's destruction firsthand.
President Biden toured by helicopter and by car areas of St. Petersburg hard hit by Hurricane Milton and took time to greet first responders. The president said he wants to get this and other areas back on their feet, and that starts with debris removal.
To clear roads, to get wreckage into the 2 hurricanes off properties, and so more folks can return home and businesses can receive much-needed deliveries of food, fuel, medicine, and other essentials.
As part of rebuilding storm-ravaged infrastructure, the president announced more than $600 million will go to affected areas, in part to reinforce power grids and reduce outages in future storms. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
There are still more than 400,000 power outages in Florida this morning. On Wall Street, stock futures are mixed, up for the NASDAQ, but down for the Dow, which surged again Friday to a new record high close. In the baseball playoffs,
the Los Angeles Dodgers wasted little time in gaining the early advantage in the National League Championship Series.
The 2-1. Into center field, and the Dodgers cash in. Betts in to score. Freeman lumbering home.
Fox TV on the call. Muncy came through off Mets starter Kodai Senga. Mookie Betts delivered a bases-clearing double in the eighth. The Dodgers took Game 1 of the NLCS 9-0. L.A. tied a Major League record with 33 consecutive scoreless innings in the postseason. The Mets managed just 3 hits.
That's Fox's Bob Mortale. Game 2 is today, and then the American League Championship Series opener, the New York Yankees against the Cleveland Guardians. On Sunday Night Football, Cincinnati beat the New York Giants 17-7 earlier. Detroit blew out Dallas 47-9. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Good morning. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time. 7:05. I'm Andrew Dominio. Right now, rain showers, 46 degrees. Your full weather forecast is coming up. This update brought to you by the new Destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Utica police responded to several different shots fired investigations over the weekend. Police say all the calls came in early Sunday morning. The incidents occurred on the 1100 block of Nielsen, the 1300 block of Seymour Avenue, and the 1300 block of Dudley Ave. Multiple spent shell casings as well as damage to homes and cars were located at each location. The UPD Give unit is actively investigating all incidents. An investigation is still underway into what caused a crash in Clay that left 2 people dead. According to state police, 2 vehicles were involved in yesterday's accident at the intersection of Route 31 and Route 57. The victims have been identified as 72-year-old Michael Paytow and 58-year-old Dawn Brown. The road near the crash scene was closed for hours, but it is back open for this morning's commute. Witnesses are asked to contact state police. An air traffic controller is being blamed for a near collision that happened in the skies above Syracuse. The FAA tells the Post-Standard a performance issue by that individual caused 2 planes to come within a few hundred feet of one another back in July. The aircraft were so close that a pilot took evasive action after a mid-air collision alarm sounded. The FAA isn't saying if the controller was disciplined. Law enforcement across the state will be out once again today cracking down on dangerous motorists. The latest enforcement campaign began Thursday and runs until the end of the day. Patrols are being boosted due to both the holiday and fall tourism, which will lead to a high number of travelers on the roads. During this same enforcement period 1 year ago, 11,000 tickets were handed out, including 4,900 for DWI. For the first time in weeks, Utica Rome drivers are digging a bit deeper into their wallets to fill up the gas station. AAA says the average cost for a gallon of regular fuel is now $3.35. That's up a penny in the past week, but is still 12 cents less than what folks were paying this time a month ago. The state average is $3.24 a gallon, while nationally it's $3.20. And the State Division of Consumer Protection is issuing a warning following Hurricanes Helene and Milton. The agency is cautioning people about charity scams in the aftermath of those disasters. Scams are more prevalent following natural disasters or emergencies when scammers pretend to be from relief organizations in an attempt to steal money. It's recommended people check the legitimacy of charitable organizations, resist pressure tactics, and never disclose any of their personal information. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time, 7:08. Your weather forecast is brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net. For today, we will see rain showers most of the day with a high in the mid to upper 40s. Overnight, cloudy with, dare I say it, a chance of rain and snow, a low in the lower 30s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a chance of snow showers in the morning, rain showers in the afternoon. We'll see a high in the mid-40s, but looking like it will turn around for later in the week into the weekend. Right now, it is raining and 46 degrees at 7:08. Sports brought to you by IBEW NECA 43, local contractors. Joe Burrow and the Bengals capped off another Sunday of NFL action with a 17-7 win over the Giants on Sunday Night Football. In the early slate, the Bears put together a dominant performance. 35-16 was the victory over the Jaguars in London. The Texans trucked the Patriots 41-21 in Drake May's first NFL start. And the Ravens knocked off the Commanders 30-23 in Baltimore. In the afternoon, the Lions trounced the Cowboys on Jerry Jones' 82nd birthday at home. 47-9 was the final. The Chargers took down the Broncos 23-16 in an AFC West clash in the Mile High City. Week 6 wraps up with Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets playing host to Josh Allen and the AFC East rival Buffalo Bills. On Monday Night Football, you'll hear it right here on WIBX. The Los Angeles Dodgers are leading the NLCS after shutting out the New York Mets 9-0. It was a brutal Game 1 for the Mets at Dodger Stadium. Jack Flaherty collected the victory after striking out 6 batters over 7 scoreless innings. Max Muncy drove in a pair of runs in the bottom of the first, and Mookie Betts hit a bases-clearing double in the bottom of the 8th. The Dodgers lead the best-of-7 series 1-0 and will host the Mets in Game 2 Monday afternoon. The ALCS begins Monday night when the New York Yankees host the Cleveland Guardians in Game 1 at Yankee Stadium. Carlos Rodon is expected to get the start for the Bronx Bombers. Alex Cobb is slated to toe the rubber for the Guardians. In college football, the Syracuse Orange had a great win over the NC State Wolfpack. The final of that one, 24-17. The Orange are now 5-1. And unfortunately, Bill, the Utica Comets got off to a pretty rough start over the weekend, losing 5-0 in their home opener against the Crunch and then losing to Rochester on Saturday.
I did see that. As for Syracuse, boy, this is a team that I think we all can agree should be 6-0 right now.
They should. They had that really rough game. I think it was week 3 or 4 for them, but
everything would be much different if they were 6-0.
Oh, they would have been ranked, without a doubt.
Yeah. Listen, I want to tell you just a couple of quickie things from yesterday in Manhattan. So we're in New York. There's the Hispanic parade going on, which means streets are closed down. Everybody's getting ready for the Columbus parade, which will be today. So we decided we were going to do something, and this is a really cool thing, especially when the weather is nice, and yesterday was beautiful here in the city. I believe it's $4 a ticket.
Okay.
At 34th Street, if you walk all the way to the East River, and you can take a cab if you want or whatever. We just happen to be on the east side. So we walked over to there, and it's the East River Ferry.
Mm-hmm.
And tickets are $4. It's about a 45-minute ride, and it's a real ferry. It takes people who are maybe working on the other side of the river. Instead of getting into traffic, you come there, you park, and you get on the ferry. There's a little bar. They have some snacks. And honest to God, it's $4.
Wow.
And it makes like 6 stops, but you got to get on at the right time. We got on and paid our $4 a piece, and we sit down, and all of a sudden we cross over the river from 34th Street, cross over the East River over to
Brooklyn, right?
Long Island. No, it crossed over to Long Island City.
Okay.
So all of a sudden, everybody's getting off, and we're going to Wall Street. So it goes all the way down to the one that we took goes all the way down to Wall Street, and then you can get off, get back on, pay, and you'd go back up to 34th Street. Anyway, we're on our way to Wall Street. We cross over to Long Island City, not realizing we were, everybody's getting off. All of a sudden, the seats are available. They have seats up on top, open air in the sunshine. You're sitting there. There's a table for 4. It's really, really cool. For $4, you can take the whole trip. Now, all of a sudden, the woman came up and said, "Okay, everybody off." I'm like, "Well, we just got on." She said, "Yeah, you just got on. We took you over to Long Island City." I said, "But we're going to Wall Street." She said, "You got to get off and start over again."
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, once we got through that, but think about that. For $4, You looking for something to do that's inexpensive in New York City? You're taking a boat tour on the and most people on there were not commuting to work. Most people on there were tourists, so the word
just
has gotten
enjoying
out.
themselves. Yeah,
it was packed, and the weather was beautiful. It takes you down to Wall Street. You can see off in the distance, pretty close, the Statue of Liberty. Anyway, we get off Wall Street. Our plan is to get on a subway and come back up to our hotel. We cannot find the subway. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to open up maps. And I typed in subway station. Boom. Pops right up. Now it's giving us walking directions. You ever use your phone to do walking?
I have, yes.
It is a little difficult, right? Because you got to, am I going in the right direction? Finally, you figure it out, and you are. Anyway, we get to where the, I forget the name of the subway station was. We get there, and there's no subway entrance. It looks like construction, looks like it's shut down. No, wrong. I just took us to a Subway Subs restaurant.
Oh no!
There's the Subway, wide open. We want if we wanted a sub sandwich, would have been fine. Nonetheless,
did you take advantage? You know they've got those foot-long churros and the foot-long cookies now over there at Subway.
Believe me, I think my wife took advantage of berating me for making such a stupid mistake.
Hey, so you and I have something in common from our recent trips to the city.
I do think so. Anyway, but for $4, the reality is you can, on a nice day, and yesterday was one of those nice days, it's something you can do because everything costs so much. I can't even believe the price of alcohol in the city. It's just incredible. But this is cheap, $4, cheap. Coming up, we'll speak with Mighty John, the record guy. Speaking of money, you may have a record that might have some value. We've got a few that have already been sent in with people with some questions. Mighty John will give you the value of your vinyl. Maybe you have a record you want valuized. He'll do it for you coming up, and has a list of the 10 spookiest October records you can find that are worth $100 or more. We'll get into that coming right up. It is 7:16 at WIBX.
This station is brought to you by Tallman's Tire, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Shop the My Carl's floor sample clearance at My Carl's. Recliners from $249, bedrooms from $499, mattresses from just $99. My Carl's, New Hartford Shopping Center.
Hey everyone, it's Lisa from Fit Body Bootcamp. It's October. That means it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And if you know me, I love to give back to our community. Are you a local business owner? If so, my team and I would love to challenge you to burpees for boobies. All you have to do is contact us for more information, and we can do burpees together. This year, we are donating every single penny to Making Strides of Utica. Want to nominate your friends to a challenge? Simply donate to nominate and help us reach our goal. Together, we can make a difference in the fight against breast cancer.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Whitesboro Central School District is looking for bus drivers to join their team now. Whitesboro is a leading school system in central New York with 7 schools, 3,100 students, and a 92% graduation rate. You can help drive our students' success. When you drive for Whitesboro, you get pay that's based on your experience, great benefits, a flexible schedule, and summers off. Call Andy at 315-768-9740 or stop by the garage, 20 Wood Road, Whitesboro.
You know, the big wireless companies want you to overpay for data that you don't need, but you don't have to settle for that with Pure Talk. Well, you get to choose how much data that you actually want. And for $25 a month, you'll get unlimited talk, unlimited text. You're going to get mobile hotspot, 5 gigs of data. Go with Pure Talk, and you get to choose how much data you actually want. Just dial pound 250, say the keyword save now, and if you do it now, you'll save an additional 50% off your first month from Pure Talk.
Beautiful woodwork adds warmth and charm to any kitchen. But years of use can leave your cabinets worn and faded. When you call Enhance, we'll make your cabinets as good as new again in as little as 1 day for a lot less than you'd pay for traditional refinishing or replacements. Whether you want to renew your cabinet's original finish or completely change their color, just tell us the look you want and we'll help you get it. Or bring your hardwood floors back to life. With most Enhance renewals, you can use your floors again the same day. Plus, there's no mess, no dust, and no odors. Call Enhance today for a free in-home consultation. We'll explain the process, we'll show you how your cabinets or floors will look when we're done, and we promise you'll be really pleased with the price. And when you trust Enhance, you'll get the skilled workmanship and attention to detail we bring to every job. There's no obligation. Call us now at 738-1113. 738-1113.
This season, get premium tech that inspires joy from Dell Technologies. Bring projects to life with the XPS 16. It delivers supercharged processing for enhanced productivity and freedom to express yourself. Performance-class Dell PCs with Intel Core Ultra processors deliver a dedicated engine to help accelerate AI. Enjoy free shipping, Dell rewards, and expert support. When you get a Dell PC with AI, it gives back. Shop now at Dell.com/deals.
This station is brought to you by Tallman's Tire, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
And good morning for Columbus Day 2024. Here we are, and thought here in October as we enter the middle of October, might be a good idea to take a look at some of those records that are out there. Coming up on an estate sale or a garage sale, there are records out there that are worth quite a lot of money. And nobody knows better than Mighty John, the record guy. His website is moneymusic.com, and John is on the line right now. Good morning.
Good morning, Bill. How are you?
Good. So here we go. So I have a few some questions that people have piped in on. You're one of those guests where I will be, just sitting having a sandwich somewhere, and somebody will come up and say, "Hey, the next time you have Mighty John on, ask him about this one." And that is exactly what I have coming up for you in a second here. So let's start with what is our list today? This is 10 records worth $100 or more, as you have scared up a list for the month of October.
That's right. We have 3 Halloween records for you, but the list for October starts with the late Jimmy Buffett. Had an album called High Cumberland Jubilee. Current value up to $100. And Jimmy Buffett was one of the world's richest musicians. Had over $1 billion when he passed away.
Wow. And I would say with him, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, this had a lot to do with his sister, who managed a lot of his business affairs.
Yeah.
Including the expansion of the Margaritaville brand, which, it was very sad to see him go, but he went as one of the richest musicians out there today. Pretty wild.
Yeah, a lot of margaritas sold.
A lot of margaritas sold, yeah. All right.
Got to have the Beatles if you're going to have money. Yesterday by the Beatles with its picture sleeve currently up to $100. Now, John, George, and Ringo are not on the record, only Paul, but the Beatles get all the credit. Santana, the album Abraxas, with its poster up to $150. Don't have the poster? Only $50. John Lennon put out a 45 called Mother. With its picture sleeve, it's up to $150. The song is not about John Lennon's mother. However, he did write a song about his mother called Julia, which appears on what is known as the Beatles' White Album. Tom Petty, Echoes. Tom Petty getting to be quite collectible. That album from 1999, currently up to $200. The Mothers of Invention, their album Uncle Meat, current value up to $300. How about the Monkees, the Birds, the Bees, and the Monkees? A stereo copy up to $25, but find a mono copy of the Monkees, Birds, the Bees, and the Monkees, and you're up to $650.
Wow.
Nice.
One of the last albums for Elvis in concert from 1977. The value depends on the color of the label on the record. If you have a copy, blue record label, $25. Black record label, $600. Kiss, their first album, Kiss, if it contains the song Kissin' Time, $20. If the Kiss album does not contain the song Kissin' Time, $750. And look for Question Mark and the Mysterians, one of the biggest hits of the early rock and roll era, 96 Tears. On the original record label, Go Records, current value up to $800.
Wow.
And 3 Halloween records to look for: Warren Zevon, Werewolves of London, the picture disc up to $100, soundtrack for the Addams Family up to $150, and the soundtrack for The Munsters, currently up to $300.
Of course, that huge song, the Monster Mash. Does that have any value?
The original album on Garpex Records. That's what you want to look for. Garpex, that's the label. That'll go up to about $100.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a few people, at least one here with a question. Somebody saying, I have a copy, and it is in excellent condition, on Cadence Records. Seeing we're in political season, it is Von Meter and the First Family.
Yes. Well, now there's a Volume 1 and a Volume 2, and they're both worth the same amount. Cadence is the label, of course, the Everly Brothers were on. Record collectors are basically looking for music. So spoken word records, comedy records, generally not too collectible. Having said that, either of the First Family albums is up to around $40 on Cadence.
Okay, all right. And then wasn't there hold on, it is the, Kennedy had an album out with, it's John Fitzgerald Kennedy. I'm trying to pull it up here.
Right.
Are you familiar? It had a picture of him with a red background.
Yep.
What is that, and is that worth anything?
Well, to a record collector, not more than $10 to $15. But to collectors of Kennedy or political memorabilia, it may have a different value. But to a record collector, not extremely collectible.
And do you find that is the same with, like, sports? You have a lot of sports albums out there where there's music on there, but there's also, like in '86, the Mets put out an album.
Yeah.
That stuff probably would be more collectible for a sports collector?
Absolutely. Same thing with, I'm in Red Sox country, so the Impossible Dream album that came out in 1976 to a record collector up to around $25. But, the people who love the Red Sox, it could go for a lot more.
Yeah, okay. All right. Again, you have a very valuable thumb drive that you are able to send out if somebody would like to purchase it. It is valuable because it'll tell you the values of records, and many of them, as a matter of fact.
Over 1 million, over 75,000 different recording artists. $24.95 if you'd like to get a copy of that. Or you can have any record appraised online for $1. And with that appraisal, we'll also send you a list of record buyers in your own area. So just go to moneymusic.com.
A little note that somebody's passing along here. How about the guy who sang 96 Tears legally changed his name to 96 when the record was popular?
His name was Rudy Martinez, actually.
Well, it was until it was 96.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right. As always, we love having you on, John. Thank you. We'll do it again soon.
All right. Take care.
All right. It's moneymusic.com is the website. Mighty John, the record guy. All right, Andrew, coming up, we'll do a quick news, and then we'll do Habaika's free money question of the day. Then I do want to get into this somewhat of a controversy in Ilion. The reality is, when I think your constituents reach out to you, however they reach out to you, probably not the best way to handle it by saying, this is not the right forum, you shouldn't be doing it on Facebook, you should be coming to our meetings. That would be nice if we could get people to come out to meetings, government meetings, common council meetings, school board meetings, all of that. But it doesn't always seem to work that way. So oftentimes today when people want to complain, how do they complain? They go on Facebook.
Oh, yeah, they do.
And it'll be right next to what you had for breakfast. We'll get into that coming up. And actually, we may actually speak with one of the people involved in it. Is that right, Andrew?
Yes, we're going to speak to Kara. She is a photographer who lives in Ilion, and her name is Kara Messina, and she's going to be calling in about 7:45 to talk about her little online conversation and spat with the mayor.
There is a back and forth there, yeah. We'll get to it coming up. Andrew updates the news. Then we'll do Habakkuk's Free Money Question coming up at WIBX.
This station is brought to you by Tallman's Tire, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Have you been thinking about buying a new hot tub or spa? Now is the time. Liverpool Pool and Spa has a large selection of American-made spas and hot tubs. Enjoy year-round for both relaxation and hydrotherapy. Fast delivery and installation available, as well as local service and support long after the sale. Financing options also available for qualified buyers. Stop into the Rome location today on 1501 East Dominic Street in Rome, or visit liverpoolpoolandspa.com for more information. Don't just dream it, live it.
What the?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What's wrong?
I'm sick and tired of these high energy bills every month.
First off, keep it clean. Second, let's give City Suburban a call and see what they can do for us about installing a new high-efficient heat pump system. We can discuss installation pricing and any available New York State clean heat rebates.
Take the first step towards a cleaner and more cost-effective, cleaner future. Log on to citysuburban.com for a free quote today.
Yeah, now you're talking.
I said keep it clean.
Join the Rome Area Chamber of Commerce for a candidate meet and greet event, along with a Yellow Rose of Challenge Awards, Friday, October 18th at the MVCC Rome campus. Registration at 8 a.m. and light refreshments will be served. Attendees will have the opportunity to hear from local candidates who will be on the ballot this November. In addition, they will be recognizing 2 local businesswomen for the roles they've played in our community. Tickets are $15, and a portion of the proceeds will benefit professional and businesswomen of Rome Scholarship Fund. For information, visit romechamber.com/events.
Shop the My Carl's floor sample clearance at My Carl's. Recliners from $249, bedrooms from $499, mattresses from just $99. My Carl's, New Hartford Shopping Center.
This station is brought to you by Tallman's Tire, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Good morning. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM News Time, 7:32. I'm Andrew Dominio. 46 degrees with rain showers here in Marcy. Your full weather forecast is coming up. This update brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Utica police responded to several shots fired investigations over the weekend. Police say all the calls came in early Sunday morning. The incidents occurred on the 1100 block of Nielsen Street, the 1300 block of Seymour Avenue, and the 1300 block of Dudley Ave. Multiple spent shell casings as well as damage to homes and cars were located at each location. The UPD GIVE unit is actively investigating all incidents. We'll get an update from Lieutenant Mike Curley later on this morning on First News with Keeler. An air traffic controller is being blamed for a near collision that happened in the skies above Syracuse. The FAA tells the Post-Standard a performance issue by that individual caused two planes to come within a few hundred feet of each other back in July. The aircraft were so close that a pilot took evasive action after a mid-air collision alarm sounded. The FAA is not saying if the controller was disciplined. Law enforcement across the state will be out once again today, cracking down on dangerous motorists. The latest enforcement campaign began Thursday and runs until the end of the day. Patrols are being boosted due to both the holiday and fall tourism, which will lead to a high number of travelers on the roadways. During the same enforcement period 1 year ago, 11,000 tickets were handed out, including 4,900 for DWI. For the first time in weeks, Utica Rome drivers are spending a little more to fill up at the gas station. AAA says the average cost for a gallon of regular fuel is now $3.35. That's up a penny in the past week, but it's still 12 cents less than what folks were paying at this point 1 month ago. The state average is $3.24 a gallon, while nationally it's $3.20. And a baby boy born during Hurricane Milton at a shelter is being called a miracle. Kenzie Llewellyn's labor started at her home in Port Charlotte, Florida, just as Hurricane Milton was barreling toward the Gulf Coast. The county says the baby and family are doing fine at an area hospital. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time at 7:35. Your weather forecast is brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net. For today, we'll see rain showers throughout the day with a high in the mid-40s. Cloudy overnight with a chance of rain and snow showers. We'll see a low in the low to mid-30s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a chance of morning snow showers, then rain showers the rest of the day. We'll see a high in the mid-40s. Right now, 46 and raining at 7:35.
All right, let's do Andrew. Hopeika's free money question of the day. And Davey, what's it worth, and what caller number are you looking for today?
$100.
Ooh, okay.
Is that okay?
Okay. I guess. I'm far away from you right now. So
yeah, there's no way that he can stop you.
All right, so $100, and what caller number are you looking for?
Caller number 6.
All right, 6th call. You sound down today.
I know.
Davey. You all right?
He's a little down in the dumps.
Well, today would have been the 3-year anniversary of my grandfather passing, and then this weekend coming up is, of course, my dad. So I'm kind of in a mopey mood today. But my stomach's off today. I must have ate something yesterday. It's terrible.
Oh yeah.
And your stomach is off.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm glad I'm not in the studio for that.
Yeah, I'll be okay though.
Okay.
I got the Ravens right over the Commanders. Ha 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 ha.
You did, Davey. You
he's
made another move here.
He's just making huge moves. His lead is expanding. I can't take it.
He is 2 games in the lead right now.
Correct.
Right? Okay, in our NFL Pick'em contest, of course, the last. I think the only one to pick the Jets over the Bills there were 2 of us, right? Larry and me, I believe.
Yes, you and Larry picked the Jets
to happen tonight. I can't even believe I would do that. Nonetheless, I'm a little worried about these Bills right now. I think they have losing in their heads, and I do think this coaching change is can be a game changer for a team. It can lift a team up. We'll see. And how about they also made the move where who's calling the offensive plays this week for the Jets?
It's the
quarterback coach, isn't it?
It's the former offensive coordinator that was with the Tennessee Titans. His name is Todd Downing. Nathaniel Hackett got demoted to another unannounced position that they said, so they don't know what he's going to be doing. So Mr. Downing's going to be the offensive coordinator calling against the Bills. But the big thing for
tell you got to be thinking that Aaron Rodgers played a role in that.
Yeah, but the big thing for the Bills is that James Cook is probable or questionable. He's got a toe injury. So what's going to go wrong with the Bills' run game? It's going to be Josh Allen running all the time?
No. Cook is playing tonight.
Oh, good.
He's playing. He's announced he's playing with the toe injury. It is not going to stop him from running. He says he will play in tonight's game.
Well, they could always go to the practice squad before the game and sign Frank Gore Jr. He was a good in the spring training.
Yeah. All right, you're grabbing caller number 6. We'll do Hope Vegas free money question next on WIBX.
Shop the My Carl's floor sample clearance at My Carl's. Recliners from $249, bedrooms from $499, mattresses from just $99. My Carl's, New Hartford Shopping Center.
During Cybersecurity Awareness Month, LifeLock wants to give you helpful tips to protect your identity. Using multi-factor authentication can be a line of defense to help protect your personal information, but LifeLock offers comprehensive protection against identity theft. LifeLock not only alerts you to suspicious uses of your personal information, but also fixes issues that arise, guaranteed or your money back. Protect your identity today with a 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com. Use my name, Clay, as the promo code. Terms apply.
Hey everyone, it's Lisa from Fit Body Boot Camp. It's October. That means it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And if you know me, I love to give back to our community. Are you a local business owner? If so, my team and I would love to challenge you to burpees for boobies. All you have to do is contact us for more information, and we can do burpees together. This year, we are donating every single penny to Making Strides of Utica. Want to nominate your friends to a challenge? Simply donate to nominate and help us reach our goal. Together, we can make a difference in the fight against breast cancer.
Have you been thinking about buying a new hot tub or spa? Now is the time. Liverpool Pool and Spa has a large selection of American-made spas and hot tubs. Enjoy year-round for both relaxation and hydrotherapy. Fast delivery and installation available, as well as local service and support long after the sale. Financing options also available for qualified buyers. Stop into the Rome location today on 1501 East Dominic Street in Rome, or visit liverpoolpoolandspa.com for more information. Don't just dream it, live it.
Our nation is at a crossroads. In Albany, John Mannion and Kathy Hochul support radical policies like cashless bail, which releases violent criminals back into our communities. Worse, John Mannion and Kathy Hochul support defunding the police, taking officers and equipment off of the streets when we need them the most. Now, Mannion's running for Congress, threatening to take Hochul's terrible ideas to Washington, D.C. There's a better choice. Navy veteran Brandon Williams. A former nuclear submarine officer, Brandon Williams has a new mission: defending central New York from the Hochul-Mannion agenda. Unlike John Mannion, Brandon Williams knows how to keep our families safe. In Congress, he's secured millions for local law enforcement, giving cops the tools they need to keep violent criminals behind bars. On or before November 5th, vote for Navy veteran Brandon Williams for Congress.
I'm Brandon Williams, candidate for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Brandon for NY 22.
Hi, this is Kira Meelan. After almost a century in business, Meelan's Carpet One is known for many things. Our commitment to customers, for example. We go above and beyond to make your shopping experience exceptional from start to finish. We're also known for quality installation. Our experienced installers are like part of the family. They've been with us for years and they do an incredible job. But one thing everyone knows us for is Karastan area rugs and carpets. And this month is National Karastan Month. Karastan area rugs and carpets offer unmatched quality and timeless beauty for your home. Many of the choices available come with a lifetime stain warranty. And with the lowest prices of the season, no interest financing, and up to $1,000 in savings, National Karastan Month is the best time to invest in new carpet or area rugs. So this month, stop by Meelan's Carpet One on Old Commercial Drive in Yorkville, across from Joe Tahan's, where the good Meelan feeling means incredible savings and financing on Karastan area rugs and carpet.
This station is brought to you by Tallman's Tire, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Okay, here we are, Columbus Day, and kind of a rainy, gloomy day, but I don't know if you're looking to the forecast going forward, but by this coming weekend, we're going to be up into the mid-60s with sunshine. And I think Monday of next week, Monday or Tuesday, 71 degrees. So a warm-up coming. You know what's coming is just garbage weather. And what I mean by that is garbage weather is it's not cold enough and snowy enough for anybody to do any outdoor sports, but it's also not warm enough for anybody to do anything outside. It's just crappy.
Yeah, it's just not fun. Just not
That
pleasant.
seems to be where we are with our winters these days. Terrible. All right, it is time for Hobica's free money question of the day. And who do we have ready to go? $100 on the line here this morning.
On the line right now is Kevin from New Hartford.
Hello, Kevin. Good morning.
Good morning.
So you can hear me loud and clear.
Yep, I can hear you loud and clear.
All right. So the way we do this from the Hobica Law Firm, Joseph and Andrew Hobica, call them today at 724-1600 is their phone number for any of your legal needs. Today's category is music, and here we go. Here is your question. Get your answer in as quickly as you can. Here we go. Chubby Checker made the twist famous. Who sang the Transylvania Twist? Ready, go.
I'll guess Jerry Lee Lewis.
Was it the Killer? Jerry Lee Lewis. Actually, the Transylvania Twist was sung by Andrew. Do you know the answer to this?
I do not.
It is sung. It was sung by this very same guy who did the Monster Mash, Bobby Boris Pickett. Bobby Pickett. Yeah, boy. Okay, we will give you the all-in-one food and fun card. It's a $25 gift card, good at any of the Comets games, at Aquavino, Taylor and the Cook, Cookies, Q and Creamery, at Babes, where you can enjoy an awesome brunch this weekend. Any of the Comets properties, including 72 Tavern and Grill. Stand by. Davey is going to hook you up, all right?
Okay, thanks a lot.
All right, man. Thank you. Again, you win for losing. Do we have anything else we can give him?
I'm not
if you
sure.
have tickets to something, give him some tickets.
Do we have any other? No, Davey's saying no.
He's saying no. All right. Well, you still win for losing around here. Okay, Andrew. As we get into this political season, there are some spats here and there, but then there are some just in normal government. In the village of Ilion,
unelection related.
Unelection related. In the village of Ilion, there seems to be a back and forth that, and I guess these things probably don't belong on Facebook, but it's where people tend to vent.
And it's where you can actually try to communicate with your elected officials if they have a Facebook or social media account.
I guess it is. And if you don't have a Facebook, you could say, well, don't communicate with me that way because I don't have a Facebook page or I don't check Facebook. But that is not the case in Ilion. Am I correct? It is not.
Correct.
Mayor John Stevens tends to get on Facebook and go back and forth with people. And her name is Kara, am I correct?
Yes.
She is a photographer who lives in Ilion, and she made some statements the other day on Facebook about how she feels how bad the village looks. Obviously, you have Remington closed up, or in the process of completely closing up. There's a sinkhole in the parking lot that is that was always a bit of a problem, but now it just looks horrible. Weeds are growing through the blacktop. It just looks like this is a very bad end to Remington and what's going to happen in that building. You have the Duofold plant. That recently collapsed even further. You have streets that are dug up. You have water problems. Not a very good time to say the word Ilion, I would say. A place that is near and dear to my heart. We lived there for 19 years and grew up, of course, in the Mohawk Valley. So John Stevens came out and said this is the wrong place for you to voice your opinion. This is it is if you wanna complain, you should come out to the meetings, right? I mean that's basically what he said. He's saying here.
Correct.
Here is actually a quote. There are a couple of exceptions. The Village Board of Trustees hold open board meetings twice per month, usually on the second and fourth Mondays starting at 5:30 p.m. There are a few exceptions, he said. Any issues or concerns you may have can be addressed during the public comment period at the beginning of each meeting, which limits each speaker to 3 to 5 minutes. or by being placed on the agenda to speak. The public comment section is just that, public comment. There is no debate from the board. They listen to your concern. Being placed on the agenda gives you the same time but allows for some back and forth. Either way, the opportunity to approach the village with your concerns or issues, not by complaining on social media or by directly messaging any member of the board. So that got the person that we're going to be speaking with going just a little bit. Kara, she goes as Kara Marie Photography. She owns a photography business in Ilion. And she said, I made this post on my personal Facebook because I'm so angry driving through Ilion today when my car that I had just gotten fixed Friday is bottomed out driving through that treacherous town. And someone sent it to the mayor. Up on 2nd Street, the entire side street I had to drive on is ripped apart with 3-inch deep holes and 0 signs to establish that it was so terrible. Then outside of Aldi's, the entire street was ripped apart and fixed, but you'll still bottom out if you drive over it. But I enjoy your Ilion mayor and these messages telling you to contact the contractor, which is not our job, as per him being paid to be the voice of the town. Please tell me why we should be contacting the people doing the road work and not you, the mayor. I think at one point, Mayor Stevens said, don't blame that on us. The contractor got it wrong. Is this normal? Why, she says, is this man the mayor? And this led to her and Stevens going back and forth on Facebook. The advice we've given several times here, Andrew, when it comes to this sort of thing is you might not want to maybe reach out to the person personally, but making public posts as the mayor just kind of keeps the argument going.
Yeah, and the individual you may be speaking with has every right to, kind of take a screenshot of that and put it out on social media.
And that's really what happened. So there was a conversation back and forth between her and the mayor, and I believe she screenshotted it and put it up on Facebook. Is she on the line?
She is.
Okay. Kara, good morning. Thanks for coming on.
Hi.
You have gotten into it with Mayor John Stevens.
Oh, my. So the way that it actually happened, to be completely thorough, is I did get upset, and I'm not the kind to complain really about anything as far as like the town goes like that. But when it comes to my car, obviously that's a different story, and I just had it. So that's where the venting came from. And then when it was sent to the mayor, it was completely left field. I didn't realize that it was going to be sent to him. It was actually sent by one of my close friends who didn't tell me that they were going to do that. The exchange happened between her and him, and then she sent it to me. And I was completely appalled. She's not the one to get into any of this. But I was just appalled because I was like, how can that be the mayor's response to something like this? Regardless of where he was being messaged, he could have went about it in a totally different way.
What was the response?
The response was that instead of messaging him, we should contact the contractors who are doing the work. But from my understanding, it's the town that hires them, or him, or whoever.
Or the village, yeah.
But, right, so, the concern should probably be to him. He's the voice. Why is he being paid?
So we were recently in Ilion, and it does look rough. And I think the mayor is in a tough position in that Remington leaving, I mean, like it or not, it's on his watch. He had nothing to do with that. You have the Duval facility, you have the water problems. There's a lot of things that are going bad, and a lot of things that have to be dealt with. And that's really what you're talking about, your dismay of driving through the village and then not looking like the same village you might have remembered.
Right, and I mean that's true. But I mean it really comes down to the fact where it's not how bad the town looks. I mean, when we get down to it and think about it, yeah, it does. But that wasn't my first concern. My first concern was literally everybody's car bottoming out. Well, you know what I mean. That was really what threw everything off. Things happen, in towns. I mean, nobody is perfect, and it's expected. And yeah, I mean, I wasn't there to badmouth him or start an argument or anything like that. To be honest, I didn't even have direct correspondence with him, nor did I have direct correspondence with the Village of Ilion page, which is what he runs. I didn't comment because the comments are turned off, but he made sure to block me from the Village of Ilion page as well, which was completely uncalled for. Like, why? You know?
Yeah, I noticed that, Bill. You can't comment on, I think, any of the village, or the Village of Ilion posts or comments are shut off for unless it's a select people, is how it reads. Select few.
So the rule on that, as long as it's a municipality's website or Facebook page, I'm pretty sure the rule came. There was a court ruling on that, and the way it works is if you don't have to allow for comments, but if you do and you start allowing some people and not others, that is a free speech violation because it's a municipality's website or Facebook page. So are some people able to comment and others are not?
I'm not sure. I did notice that that's what it says on there. I've never seen any comments on there myself. So, I mean, maybe they're turned off completely, but all I know is that when I searched for the Village page, he completely blocked me from it. But then once I posted that it was not legal to block someone from a municipal page like that, he did catch wind of that and unblocked me last night. So, I mean, it's the way that things are being done. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you live in Ilion?
I did move away from Ilion, but I graduated from Ilion. I have tons of friends and family in Ilion as well, and I'm here all the time. Yeah.
All right, Cara, we appreciate the update. Would you agree if the mayor sent a respectful message back saying, "Listen, we're working on it. There's a lot happening right now. Our apologies. We're going to get this village right back to the sparkling heyday that it used to be." That versus the way he did respond, we probably wouldn't even be talking about this.
That is 100%. All I wanted was a normal response. That one should not have came from the mayor. Just a decent response would have been fine.
All right, Cara, thank you for the time. We appreciate it. And good luck out there, and be careful on those potholes and the bottoming out. It can cause havoc with your vehicle.
Sure can. Right. Thank you. Have a good one.
All right. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
All right,
Yep,
Andrew, do you agree with your thoughts on this? And let's get Mayor Stevens on to
we'll
talk
get him
about
on
it.
tomorrow.
I don't know why he gets into these spats with people. It only catches people's attention. Nobody else would pay attention at all if it was just the normal, hey, we appreciate your input. We're working on it.
Yeah, I just think it's best practice to avoid getting in a confrontation. Keep the any responses short and sweet and to the point without any real confrontation, and it'll be a better result for you in the end.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Listen, we got a break coming up. We got a bunch coming up next hour to get into, including Utica's own difficult issues, and it's just more gunfire over the weekend. We'll speak with Lieutenant Curley on that coming up next hour. Also, a local author and Dr. Rick Timms. Where is this? We heard that the DEC has made I didn't know that they had the ability to do this, but basically made a ruling.
Who has the authority? That's the interesting part.
I don't know that they do have the authority. Delaying this order that all vehicles sold. There's a whole formula that goes along with it on electric vehicles, but it is the electrification mandate, which is coming out of New York right now, which everybody seems to agree, except for the governor's office, that we're not ready for it. And we'll speak with that regarding school districts. And what does this school funding formula, the formula aid, what does that, the outcome of that, what could that mean for high-risk schools, many of which are right here in our area? We'll get to it coming up. News is next on WIBX. Andrew will also have a full forecast, which, by the way, if you're looking, I'm going to go till 10 after, Andrew. If you're looking at the forecast going out,
20 after.
It's going to be a bit miserable this week.
Yeah.
But it's going to warm up, believe it or not. Coming up at WIBX.
Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, your trusted tire experts. Their experienced team is here to offer personalized advice for all your tire needs. Now through October 31st, purchase 4 eligible Bridgestone or Firestone tires and receive up to $170 in rebates. Whether you're in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, or Herkimer, their team of professionals is ready to serve you. Schedule your appointment today at TallmansTire.com. Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Get the best tires for your vehicle at unbeatable prices, guaranteed.
This station is brought to you by Tallman's Tire, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Imagine this. You're coming down the stairs. You miss a step, but you catch yourself. And that's when you feel it. It's your knee, and it really hurts. Now you have to make a choice. The faster you see an orthopedic specialist, the sooner you'll be on your way to recovery. Choose Community Memorial Center for Orthopedics, now with a clinic open every Wednesday in New Hartford. You'll get fast access to world-class orthopedic care. We have imaging on site, and you'll be treated by Dr. Rochelle Takamoto. She's one of the most respected orthopedists in the area, and she's done more VELYS robotic-assisted surgeries than any female physician in the world. So whether it's a new injury or a long-term pain in any joint, walk into our clinic and get treated by one of the best orthopedic specialists in the area in the shortest time possible. That's Community Memorial Center for Orthopedics, with clinics weekdays in Hamilton and now every Wednesday at 83 Genesee Street in New Hartford. Visit orthoemergency.com.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
Coming to Israel's defense. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The U.S. is going to send a missile defense system and American troops to help operate it, adding to what's the U.S. already done, helping thwart Iran's missile attacks this year.
This is one of the biggest attacks against Israeli positions since the conflict began more than a year ago. A low-level drones believed to have been launched from Lebanon, evading Israeli early warning systems. Its target was an army base in Binyamina. Hezbollah says it carried out the attack.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage on the drone that was used by Hezbollah to get a military base, killing 4 Israeli soldiers, injuring dozens more. Now, Israel's also hit Hamas in Gaza again with more airstrikes. Palestinians say at least 24 people were killed, many at a school-turned-shelter. The Israelis say militants hide among the civilians. There are still more than 400,000 power outages in Florida after Hurricane Milton hit. President Biden toured damage in Tampa and St. Petersburg, pledging
$612 million to 6 new cutting-edge projects to support communities impacted by Hurricane Helene and Milton.
Milton's blamed for at least 21 deaths. Hurricane Helene killed more than 10 times that many. Florida up to North Carolina. Both Vice President Harris and former President Trump will campaign today in Pennsylvania, the biggest prize among the states considered toss-ups.
We are running as the underdog.
That was Harris in North Carolina. Trump urged people in Arizona to vote early.
Get everyone you know, because we want to take back our country.
The man arrested at a Trump rally in California Saturday is free on bail on gun charges. Vem Miller found in an unregistered car with a fake plate and loaded weapons. Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco tells Fox this morning.
It's probably for the rest of the country, it's hard to believe that when we arrest people, they don't stay in jail. But that's a fact of life here in California. And those crimes that we arrested him for were misdemeanors.
Miller tells Fox News Digital he's a Trump supporter, had no intention of hurting the former president. America's listening to Fox News.
Life takes a toll on our bodies, no way around it. Whether it's sitting hours on end at your computer or working a physical job, over time, your body pays the price. There is, however, an effective way to turn back the clock on pain. Relief Factor. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor helps support your body's response to inflammation. The difference, instead of masking pain, Relief Factor helps eliminate it for good. And it's 100% drug-free. If the pains that come with living a full life are affecting you, do as so many others have. Turn back the clock on pain with Relief Factor. Their 3-week quick start is just $19.95, less than $1 a day. When you feel good, it's amazing how much more you get out of life. So visit ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Try it for only $19.95. While we can't stop aging, not yet, we can stop pain. Turn back the clock with Relief Factor.
Will the recent hurricanes affect voting? The elections are 3 weeks from tomorrow.
Lawmakers in North Carolina are giving some voters additional options to cast early ballots as they clean up and recover from Hurricane Helene. A state disaster relief package includes a provision allowing voters in 25 hard-hit counties to request an absentee ballot up until the day before Election Day and drop off ballots at any early voting site in the state. But federal judges in Florida and Georgia denied requests from civil rights groups to extend voter registration deadlines. Attorneys for Georgia argued a 1-week extension would cause an administrative burden. In Washington, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
3 economists in the U.S. got a high honor this morning, awarded the Nobel Prize for Economics. Daron Acemoglu, Simon Johnson, James Robinson honored for their research into why some countries succeed and others fail. On Wall Street, stock futures are mixed before this week's trading. The Dow and the S&P 500 closed out last week at record highs. In the baseball playoffs, a blowout to start the National League Championship Series.
Game 1, one-sided. 9-0. The Dodgers over the Mets. They've tied the Major League record, 33 consecutive scoreless innings in the postseason.
The call on Fox. Game 2 is this afternoon in Los Angeles. Then tonight, New York's other team, the Yankees, host the American League Championship Series opener against the Cleveland Guardians. On Sunday Night Football,
Joe taking off. Oh, he's got a ton of room. Might take it all the way.
Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow did run it in, 47 yards for a touchdown to take an early lead. Cincinnati went on to beat the New York Giants 17-7 on NBC. Earlier, Detroit blew out Dallas 47-9. Houston improved to 5-1, beating New England. Baltimore and Pittsburgh, they both won. The Ravens beat the Commanders. The Steelers beat the Las Vegas Raiders. Ravens and Steelers tied atop the AFC North. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM News Time, 8:05. I'm Andrew Dominio. We still have rain showers here in Marcy, 46 degrees. Your full weather forecast is coming up. The first half of the week, not looking so hot weather-wise, but it looks like it will improve. We'll have details in minutes. Utica police responded to several shots fired reports over the weekend. Police say all the calls came in early Sunday morning. The incidents occurred on the 1100 block of Nielsen Street, the 1300 block of Seymour Avenue, and the 1300 block of Dudley Avenue. Multiple spent shell casings as well as damage to homes and cars were located at each location. The UPD GIVE, or Gun Involved Violence Elimination Unit, is actively investigating all incidents. An air traffic controller is being blamed for a near collision that happened in the skies above Syracuse. The FAA tells the Post-Standard a performance issue by that individual caused 2 planes to come within a few hundred feet of each other back in July. The aircraft were so close that a pilot took evasive action after a mid-air collision alarm sounded. The FAA isn't saying if the controller was disciplined. Law enforcement across the state will be out once again today, cracking down on dangerous motorists. The latest enforcement campaign began Thursday and runs until the end of the day. Patrols are being boosted due to both the holiday and fall tourism, which will lead to a high number of travelers on the roadway. During this time enforcement period 1 year ago, 11,000 tickets were handed out, including 4,900 for DWI. For the first time in weeks, Utica Rome drivers are digging a bit deeper into their wallets to fill up at the gas station. AAA says the average cost for a gallon of regular fuel is now $3.35. That's up a penny in the past week, but is still 12 cents less than what folks were paying at this point 1 month ago. The state average is $3.24 a gallon, while nationally it's $3.20. The State Division of Consumer Protection is issuing a warning following Hurricanes Helene and Milton. The agency is cautioning people about charity scams in the aftermath of those disasters. Scams are more prevalent following natural disasters or emergencies when scammers pretend to be from relief organizations in an attempt to steal money. It's recommended people check the legitimacy of charitable organizations and resist pressure tactics and never disclose any of their personal information. And Mike Tyson says Jake Paul is going to have to offer him a lot more than $5 million to risk getting a tattoo that says, quote, "I love Jake Paul." The former heavyweight champion is set to fight Paul next month, and the YouTube star turned celebrity boxer has offered Tyson $5 million to make it past the fourth round of the fight. If he fails, Tyson would have to get the tat. Iron Mike told USA Today Thursday that Paul would need to offer about $20 million for him to take that deal. It is 8:08. Your weather forecast is brought to you by the new Destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. For today, Columbus Day, expect rain showers, cloudy skies, and a high in the mid-40s. Overnight, we'll see cloudy skies with a chance of rain, maybe even snow with a low in the low 30s. Cloudy skies expected tomorrow with a chance of early snow showers, then rain in the afternoon. We'll see a high in the mid-40s, looking like we'll be in the lower 60s with sunshine by the end of the week. Right now, we're at 46 degrees under cloudy skies with rain at 8:09. Sports brought to you by IBEW NECA 43, local contractors. Joe Burrow and the Bengals capped off another Sunday of NFL action with a 17-7 win over the Giants on Sunday Night Football. In the early slate, the Bears put together a dominant 35-16 victory over the Jaguars in London. The Texans trucked the Patriots 41-21 in Drake May's first NFL start. The Ravens knocked off the Commanders 30-23 in Baltimore. And my Green Bay Packers got the win, a nice one, over the Arizona Cardinals. In the afternoon, the Lions trounced the Cowboys 47-9 in Arlington on Jerry Jones' 82nd birthday. And the Chargers took down the Broncos 23-16 in an AFC West clash in the Mile High City. Week 6 wraps up with Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets taking on Josh Allen in the AFC East rival Buffalo Bills. Monday Night Football, you'll hear it right here on WIBX. The Dodgers are leading the NLCS after shutting out the Mets 9-0 in Game 1 from Dodger Stadium. Jack Flaherty collected the victory after striking out 6 batters over 7 scoreless innings. Max Muncy drove in a pair of runs in the bottom of the first, and Mookie Betts hit a bases-clearing double in the bottom of the 8th. The Dodgers lead the best-of-7 series 1-0 and will host the Mets in Game 2 Monday afternoon. A must-win for the Mets to keep things from getting out of hand. You have to take one in L.A. The ALCS begins tonight when the New York Yankees host the Cleveland Guardians in Game 1 at Yankee Stadium. Carlos Rodon is expected to get the start for the Bombers. Alex Cobb is slated to toe the rubber for the Guardians. In college football, the Syracuse Orange got a big win over the weekend, beating the NC State Wolfpack by a score of 24-17. The Orange are now 5-1 and will visit Pittsburgh on October 24th. That is a week from Thursday. And the Utica Comets off to a bit of a rough start, but there is still a lot of season left for the AHL. If you're dealing with debilitating pain, I know where you may be able to go to possibly get some relief. It's Revive Soft Wave Therapy at 2709 Genesee Street in Utica. Dr. Tim Del Medico has now dedicated his career and his life to those struggling with pain. He sold his chiropractic business to focus on soft wave and the technology that he was the first to market here in the area. It's an FDA-cleared, non-invasive, and drug-free treatment for chronic pain, inflammation, and all joint issues. I personally have experience with this treatment in my foot and ankle, and after just 6 visits, my pain went from an 8 to a 0. You can actually feel soft wave working during the treatment. And if you want to see video on how this technology works and see people actually getting the treatment done and testimonials, you can go to their website, reviveutica.com. Speaking of the Comet season, Rob Esch is a patient of Revive Soft Wave Therapy. You can see his testimonial at reviveutica.com as well. And they care about Keeler listeners, giving you the chance to possibly get relief from your pain with a discount. If you call them up at 315-725-8427, 315-725-8427, mention the Keeler Show. You'll get a discount on your initial consultation, a soft wave therapy treatment, and they'll put you on a treatment and recovery plan that's right for you. Many NFL teams are using this technology, like the Saints and Cowboys, who had a lot of pain from their losses yesterday. Also, the New York Giants and others. The Cleveland Guardians use this in their locker room as well, and Team USA even. So give them a try. ReviveUtica.com. That's reviveutica.com. Let the healing begin with Revive Softwave Therapy, 2709 Genesee Street in Utica.
Okay, Andrew, we've got a bunch to get to. Today is Columbus Day, which means for the most part, your banks are closed. There's no mail service. Government offices are closed. It's a day off, right?
Right.
Schools are closed. All of that stuff. The stock market, however, does remain open here on this Columbus Day or Indigenous Peoples Day, however you want to, whichever one you want to. Yep. What's that?
Whatever you want to refer to it as.
I guess, although I think the two holidays are different holidays. I think so. You could celebrate both.
Oh, okay. So it's not a replacement of. See, I thought it was a replacement of.
Well, it is for some. There's no doubt, but it is a different. It is a bit of a different holiday. If you're looking for a great buffet, tired of just Chinese and Indian and who knows, Lebanese, great buffets, all great buffets. But how about an Italian buffet this week for lunch? Available Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. at Tony's in Washington Mills. The only Italian buffet around. 16 hot dish items available for lunch from 11 a.m. till 3 p.m. From pastas to greens to sausage and peppers, they aim to carry what you need, full service. Virginia ham, pork tenderloin, chicken cacciatore. You could take this home, warm it up, and it's dinner. Soups and salads as well. It's $15.95 a person, $9.99 for children 5 to 10, and kids under 5 are free. Call if you'd like a delivery to your workplace, 315-737-9172. It's 11 to 3. Monday through Friday only at Tony's in Washington Mills. You can dine in or dine out. Coming up, we'll speak with a local author. Also this morning, Lieutenant Mike Curley on more shots fired over the weekend in the city of Utica. We'll get to all of that coming up here on your Columbus Day, Monday at WIBX.
The Potting Shed Antiques in Whitesboro is buying silver, gold-filled, vintage costume, estate jewelry, and U.S. and Canadian coins. They've been your hometown buyer for the past 52 years. While other gold and silver buyers claim to offer the highest prices, the Potting Shed Antiques actually delivers. Let Don Hartman take a look at your individual pieces or your entire collection. The Potting Shed Antiques, open Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Please call ahead for an appointment. Visit thepottingshedantique.com.
Halloween's coming alive at Target. Jackie and Gordy the Jack-O-Lanterns here with a front porch view of Target's Halloween deals, like 20% off costumes with Target Circle. We're talking rock stars, witches, princesses.
Ooh, I think I'd look good with a cape.
I think so too, Gordy. Plus, hit the trick-or-treat jackpot with 20% off candy.
Now that's how you get porch traffic.
This week only, save 20% on costumes with Target Circle and 20% off candy. Make your Halloween come alive at Target. Restrictions apply.
Need new tires? Nokian Tires is celebrating 90 years of legendary Hakkapeliitta winter tires with a consumer rebate. Now through October 31st, when you buy 4 select winter, all-season, and all-weather tires, you can save up to $80 by mail on a MasterCard prepaid card. Offer expires October 31st, 2024. Experience the thrill of savings on every mile at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Visit their stores and meet their team of experts, or schedule your appointment online at tallmanstire.com.
It's common knowledge that after age 30, our metabolism changes. We have less energy and gain weight easier. There's a way to feel better, not in years or months, but sometimes in just days.
I'm Chuck Norris. I tried everything. Working with a team of health experts, we came up with Morning Kick. Morning Kick is a revolutionary new formula that combines all my favorite supplements into one daily drink.
Morning Kick has probiotics to help you lose weight, prebiotics for digestion, superfoods for muscles and joints, and powerful anti-aging supplements. It'll help you feel youthful, energized, and helps manage stress.
I look and feel better than I have in years.
Go to roundhouseprovisions.com, use code SUPPORT, or text SUPPORT to 511-511 and claim 40% off. roundhouseprovisions.com, code SUPPORT.
Every purchase comes with our 90-day money-back guarantee. You could be feeling these changes within just a couple of days.
Text SUPPORT to 511-511.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
Right now at Mattress Express, buy almost any king or queen set in the store and get a free adjustable base upgrade. Everybody loves a free adjustable base. And take up to 5 years to pay for anything in the store with no money down for qualified buyers. See store for details.
Are you seeking Medicare guidance? Let the experts at Senior Benefits NY help get the coverage you need and the peace of mind you deserve. We offer free consultations to whoever would like a review of their current Medicare plans. We understand how daunting the Medicare process can be and strive to make healthcare planning easier. Because we represent all major healthcare companies, our services will help guide you through your Medicare plan choices for 2025 to fit your unique needs. For a free consultation, please visit seniorbenefitsny.com. Senior Benefits NY, your Medicare, your choice.
Whitesboro Central School District is looking for bus drivers to join their team now. Whitesboro is a leading school system in central New York with 7 schools, 3,100 students, and a 92% graduation rate. You can help drive our students' success. When you drive for Whitesboro, you get pay that's based on your experience, great benefits, a flexible schedule, and summers off. Call Andy at 315-768-9740 or stop by the garage, 20 Wood Road, Whitesboro.
This is actual footage of Bill Keeler doing a radio show on WIBX. Sadly, his career was found in a heavily wooded area. If you know the person or persons who ended the radio career of Bill Keeler, please tell them thanks on behalf of the people of Central New York.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
So, Andrew, good morning. We're going to get to
good morning.
Vincent Palmieri coming up in a few minutes, who is a local author and has the new book. Is it The King of Orchard Street? Is that his book?
That's correct.
All right, we'll get to that coming up.
I've got a copy of it right here.
I do want to talk before we get to Vincent. We had a comment on the YouTube, or maybe it's in the app. Might be in the app. Either way. Alan Start, still uncertain for tonight, says Deeds in New Hartford. I don't see that.
Yeah, I didn't see that on any injury report.
I'm not seeing it on any injury report. However, I got to tell you, I really felt like they didn't do much of a concussion protocol on Josh Allen the other night. Did you see that hit that he took?
Yeah, I did see it.
I want Davey's opinion on this, too. I thought he took a hard hit, and the back of his head went down hard on the on the turf. I was really surprised that he was able to run right back out there and get right back in the game.
Yeah, I mean, Davey, you want to respond to that?
Josh Allen's concussion, the way they handled it?
Yeah.
Well, they're saying it wasn't a concussion.
Well, it looked like a concussion to me when he went down.
It was a hard hit, right?
Yeah, indeed.
So he goes into the tent. He was in there for just a second. Didn't want to go in, by the way. Went into the tent and came right back out and was playing after being one play out. And there's been a lot of talk about that they don't feel a thorough enough examination on a concussion was done on him. I don't know. He did take a really hard hit.
I think that I would find it hard to believe that with this being 2024 and all the issues with Tua Tagovailoa and the seriousness in which the NFL is taking concussions and head injuries, that they would have put Josh Allen back out on the field if there were any concern.
If he wasn't ready.
Yeah, I'd find it very hard to believe.
Some other comments here this morning. John in Bridgewater. Bill, let the mayor do his own apologies for his stupidity. Great weather for fishing, Bill. Okay, I guess I didn't know that.
Wayne and John in Bridgewater are both hardcore fishermen. They'll be out in the snow and the rain and the sleet and wherever they can get.
John in Bridgewater. Hey, Bill, just wondering, how'd the Mets make out last night? Wow.
Oh, boy.
And This is Deeds in New Hartford. My son and I had a great time at the game Friday, so appreciative. Thank you for the tickets. And, while the Comets had a rough start
to
the season, it's still great hockey, great to see, great action, and a great vibe at the Odd this weekend at the Adirondack Bank Center. Pretty cool. All right, Andrew, tell us about our author in studio and what this book is all about.
Yeah, so actually we have two people in studio. Vincent Palmieri is the author of The King of Orchard Street. He's been on before about other works that he's had on, and John Kipper, if I got that correct, is in studio as well. He's featured in the book, and they're both in studio. And Vincent, this is now your second work of literature.
Correct. Billy, if you remember, I was in about probably 3 years ago with my first book,
I do.
Ruthie Deeply.
Yes, and and that was a really interesting story. Just before we get into the new book, talk about Ruthie. That was a great story.
As far as I know, she's still good. She's must be about 91 years old now. She's still good. She's happy. She's healthy. She does the things she wants to do, which is pretty amazing for someone her age. I mean, she gets restrictions, of course, because of her age and the weather and all that stuff. But other than that, she's good. She goes everywhere she wants to go and does everything she wants to do. Johnny, here with me, has known her his whole life, too. And she's, as far as I know, she's healthy and happy. And
doing well.
Yeah.
What inspired you to start writing, Vincent? I mean, it's kind of,
Andrew, honestly, it's something I had in my mind from way back when.
Yeah.
Actually, I started a book when I went to college, and I graduated from college a long time ago. And I had it kind of rolling, and then when I graduated from college, I lost track of it. I just kind of let it go. And then Ruthie's book came along. And then this book, The King of Orchard Street, came along, which is something else I'd been thinking about for a long time.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, I've gone back to my book from college and started working on it yesterday, although I may have to change the title. The original title was something called Zoo Animals, and I may have to change that to Gold Tarnished is what I'm thinking.
Okay.
But I don't know. It's just something that I always like to do, Bill. And never really had the time with a family and all that stuff. So now I decided, if I'm going to do this, I better get going on it. So the King of Orchard Street is second book.
The new book, The King of Orchard Street.
That Orchard Street in Frankfurt.
That
Orchard Street. How it transpired was I had an idea of what I wanted to do with it, but it wasn't really set in my brain, so to speak. So about 3 years ago, I was in Maine with a cousin and his son, who was an MD in Boston, which is one of the people it's dedicated to, the King of Orchard Street. And he said to me, what's going on with your book, Ruthie Deeply? And I told him, I said, Rob, I almost got it done, and maybe 6 months, not even 2 months, something like that. And he said, what are you going to do next? So I told him about the King of Orchard Street. He said, what do you got in mind? I said, well, I'm not sure with that. I'm thinking about it. So this guy's a very intelligent guy. He's an MD. He was a valedictorian of his class at Colgate University and all that stuff. He's a very smart guy. So he said, I got a suggestion. I said, tell me. Take the people that you want their stories and tell their stories, and then the reader decides in a whimsical way, if nothing else.
Right.
Who is the King of Orchard Street? It might be my Uncle John, who's 90 years old. It might be Johnny Kipper sitting here with me. It might be me. Kind of an interactive thing to get the reader involved in the story.
So there's no competition as friends. You were never really competitive,
I guess not. So that's the first way it's written. That's the first level. And then the second level, Billy, and you grew up in that area too. This is in the 40s, the 50s, and the 60s. It was a different lifestyle. We were kind. We helped each other. We were considerate. The most important thing is everyone was accepted. And that's the story. That's the second story of the King of Orchard Street. And
who do you think, Vince, was the King of Orchard Street?
Well, I don't know. I have some different opinions. I asked one of my uncles, who's my Uncle John, who's a contender, and he said to me, well, I'll tell you, my brother Vincent, Akavazi Funeral Home, was the king in the 30s. My brother George, lived in Savannah, they're both deceased, was the king in the 40s.
Gotcha, okay.
And I said, well, I may be the king in the 50s. I said, but I got...
John might have a different opinion over there.
Let Johnny have his opinion on that. Well, it remains to be seen.
I don't understand how he's going to figure this out, because we had a great bringing up on Orchard Street, and we all got along. It was a lot of fun. We very seldom got in any trouble whatsoever, and if we did, everybody had our backs. So the stories, I really enjoyed telling my story to Vinny and the things that happened as I was growing up as a kid.
Yeah.
And even the people that, around me, I just enjoyed it very much. I mean, it was all family. Everybody watched everybody else's back. All clean fun. Always outside doing stuff the kids don't do today.
Yeah.
It was
John, do you have a favorite story that you told for the book?
Oh God, do I have a favorite one?
A lot of them.
I do, but you know what? I think I told Vinny before, it brings tears to my eyes, because my grandmother, if there was a queen of Orchard Street, that was my grandmother, because she fed the whole street. I mean, Sunday mornings we get up and go after church. She had meatballs on the table for to feed the town of Frankfurt.
Oh my
She made
gosh.
everything from scratch. You walk in, her kitchen was filled with flour. She was making bread. She was making macaroni, canning tomatoes. I mean,
Maron, that sounds good.
that's-
Yeah.
In the Christmas time, my aunts they cooked for 3 days, because everybody got down to my grandmother's house, and we all hung out there for the holidays. It was just a great time. So maybe that is, but we had a lot of nice times.
And Johnny had 14 kids.
How did it?
Oh wow!
How did it work out?
My mother had 14 brothers and sisters.
Wow.
So, and we all gathered at the house on the holidays, so you can imagine. The auditorium in Utica wasn't built then, otherwise we would have had it there.
Would have gone there.
Hey Vince.
Yeah.
How did Utica has the reputation. East Utica had the reputation for being Italian, very Italian.
Mm-hmm.
But Frankfurt was. I always felt Frankfurt was like the East Utica. I mean, it was a lot of Italians.
Frankfurt per capita, and you could Google this, is like statistically the highest concentration per population of Italians in the United States.
Yeah.
I grew up thinking everybody was Italian. I didn't think there was anybody else. I thought that was it. It was only Frankfurt.
A lot of people are there. They identify as Italian.
Sure. So it's just Johnny's absolutely right, Billy. And your Uncle Don worked there for years, so he knew the whole crowd.
I worked with your Uncle Don at the Union Fork and Hole.
Yeah, Fork and Hole.
Yeah.
So it was just like Johnny says, there was ups and downs. There's always ups and downs. People get sick and, whatever happens. But generally speaking, I mean, it just was everybody went along. Everybody helped each other. If you succeeded, you helped your neighbors succeed. It's a different kind of world. It's basically an idea of acceptance. No one was rejected there.
And I also say that if Frankfurt, even today, Frankfurt is a very unique, tight-knit town.
It is. It still is. And I haven't lived there, Billy, in 35 years. I live in Whitesboro. But it's still, as a matter of fact, Andrew, funny, I belonged to Frankfurt Kiwanis since 1988.
Yeah.
I was 86. I was president in 1988. I'm president again. I haven't lived in Frankfurt in 35 years. I said,
you still have a presence.
Yeah. I said, wait a minute. But it is true. Just the environment. I know people that were born and raised wherever and moved to Frankfurt and say, I love this community. This community has always been good to me. I'll never leave. My brother-in-law, he says, I'll never leave Frankfurt now. He was born and raised in East Utica. He said, I'll never leave. If my sister were to pass away, God forbid, he said, I'll never. This is my home now. I mean, I get emails from people and say, these people have always been so good to me. They made a good life for my kids and my husband and I didn't know anybody. And I'm still here and I'm still staying. You agree, Johnny?
I agree 100%. I live in Sequoia, but my home is Frankfurt.
You still say close, because there's some parts of it's weird. East Utica, Frankfurt, and Sequoia, they all kind of connect geographically.
And the thing with growing up, like I say, everybody watched out for us kids. If it was raining, they brought you in the house. You were hungry, they fed you. And I mean, it's a great community, really.
And that
very proud.
is that is really gone today, right?
And that's the point, Billy.
Yeah.
That's the point. That's what the second level of the King of Orchard Street. If you have that in your life, great. Put it in more.
Yeah.
If you don't, bring it in, because that's what makes the world fly. That's what makes the world a much nicer place. I had two text messages in the past week. One mutual friend of Johnny's, his name is Francis Vallant. He's lived in Ohio and California for years, and he just emailed me the other day. He's reading The King of Orchard Street. He says, I've lived all over the United States. I still tell people, ask me, I still say I'm from Frankfort, New York. Another girl, Carla, she lives in Florida for years and years.
Yeah.
She said, my house is gone, but I'm still from Frankfort. I still tell people when they ask me where I'm from, I tell them Frankfort.
Absolutely.
It really is a great pride that people have. The book is The King of Orchard Street,
correct,
by Vincent Palmieri. Correct. And Vince, where can people get the book?
Simplest, Billy, just Google the title, The King of Orchard Street. It'll connect all kinds of links to Amazon, Better World Books. There's some videos. You can look at my Facebook, my LinkedIn. There's some videos. There's a trailer produced by my publisher. There's, I think I sent you, Andrew, the press release.
Mm-hmm.
I got contacted with some other social media stuff that's in my agreement. I have a Zoom interview coming up. I have a reporter contacted me from the Rome newspaper that got wind of it. So there's plenty of information out there. Simplest way, Google the title, connect you to all the links. You got to shop the links a little bit because the prices vary.
Okay.
So try them. I have to go talk to the manager at Barnes & Noble. It's on Barnes & Noble's electronics store. But it's up to the managers which books they really want to put in their stores.
Yeah,
you got to go lobby them.
Definitely one they should have.
They should have it in there.
I got to go talk to him and see if which Ruthie Deeply is in the store in New Hartford, and see if he'll put them in. So it's kind of a evolving thing, Billy. It takes a little while, but it's out there. Just Google the title, The King of Orchard Street.
All right. The King of Orchard Street, Vincent Palmieri. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
And what a great way to tell the story of Frankfort, New York. Really cool.
Perfect. Thank you, Billy, for having us.
Thank you, Billy.
Thank you so much.
Andrew, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, we'll break quickly. Coming up, Lieutenant Mike Curley, UPD, and more shots over the weekend. It seems like every weekend it's what we're talking about. We'll get to it coming up at WIBX.
This station is brought to you by Tallman's Tire, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Hey guys, Donald Trump Jr. here with urgent news. The world's central banks are making unprecedented moves, and it's time to pay attention. In 2022 and 2023, they bought more gold than ever before, and now in 2024, the trend is accelerating. Why? Because central banks have lost faith in the dollar. And in these uncertain times, gold is the ultimate safe haven. If you too are worried about the dollar, I urge you to take similar action by diversifying your IRA or 401k into gold with my trusted friends at Birch Gold Group. To see how it works, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word HEDGE to 989898. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust. They provide an easy process to roll over your 401k or IRA into gold without losing your tax advantage status. So text HEDGE to 989898. That's HEDGE to the number 989898 to get your free info kit on gold IRAs from Birch Gold.
Message and data rates may apply.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-909-8122. 800-909-8122. 800-909-8122. Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com. WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, we're back here. It is 8:37 and a Monday morning. And, of course, Monday, Columbus Day. I'm via remote in a place where the Buffalo Bills will be playing tonight against the New York Jets.
You're going to go to the game?
We'll see what happens here. We'll see what happens, Andrew. We'll see what happens. But that's going to be, I think, a very unpredictable game.
Agreed.
Mike says, "Love, they call you Billy." Well, that's in the Valley. That is, there are only two people that probably still call me that, and that's Vince and, of course, Mike Tyson. If you remember the time we interviewed Mike Tyson, "Oh, Billy."
Well, I think Chuck Lester calls you Billy too.
And he does, yeah.
He actually
anyway,
texted in this morning, "I'm Italian by proxy. I've been married to a 100% full-blooded Italian woman for 46 years."
Okay. I would dare say that Frankfurt was, and actually Vince confirmed it, that Frankfurt was more Italian than East Utica.
Yeah.
And today is more Italian than East Utica, probably by far. So, all right. Okay, next up, Mike Curley. Another tough weekend, Andrew.
It is. It has been. They've been dealing with a lot of crime. I think the shot spotter technology has definitely helped with the responses to shots fired calls. Otherwise, that would not have gone reported. I know there was a big drug and weapons bust late in the week last week, but 3 fired calls over the weekend, all on Sunday morning.
All right. Is Mike
He's on the line? He is on the line.
Okay. Lieutenant, good morning. Thanks for coming on. Tell us what this weekend was like.
Yeah, good morning, guys. So, as you said, so early, starting by 1:30 in the morning, we received numerous calls as well as shot spotter notifications regarding multiple shots fired locations on Nielsen Street, Dudley Ave, and Seymour Ave. Upon arrival, we located probably in total nearly 30 spent shell casings at those 3 locations. Vehicles were struck, homes were struck. Thankfully, no one was struck, and our investigators are doing their very best to investigate the incident, and we've got some pretty promising leads thus far based on video surveillance and things like that.
All right, one of the places that is a great place to send in a lead, obviously you can contact police directly or use Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers, and that is completely 100% anonymous. Are we reaching a point, Mike, where the people of these neighborhoods that live in these neighborhoods are starting to get to the point where enough is enough? They want a safe neighborhood. They do not want this for their children. These are 13, 14, 15, 16-year-olds.
Yeah, they certainly do, and that was a big precipice for us getting ShotSpotter, was that a lot of people were not calling in shots fired calls, and we needed a way to be able to actively get a timely response and keep those neighborhoods safe without, people who may be fearful to call or just kind of saying this is far too prevalent and then it's not even worth calling anymore. But we still need to respond to those locations and ensure that we're doing our jobs.
And talk about how that technology works.
Yeah, so basically it's an acoustic technology that can extrapolate the sound wave of a gunshot. So there's, obviously in any kind of urban area, there's a multitude of sounds that could set off some kind of triggering microphone device. But this particular technology is able to kind of find the sound wave that is exactly akin to gunshots, and immediately within 60 seconds after getting a confirmation, send our officers right to the location, almost to the foot where those casings would be, if they're located, or any kind of evidence that would be located on scene.
And the interesting thing, too, with the technology is you're able to, or the technology, rather, is able to determine if it's fireworks, a gunshot, a muffler kind of, backfiring or firing off. So it's actually sophisticated enough to determine if there's a loud sound, if it's indeed a gunshot or some other source.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So we have it's called an insight technology and a map for every activation that goes off in our area, and things simple as a truck's air brakes or a dumpster slamming or something is going to give us an alert, but it goes back to their call center. They have a real live person who would listen to that sound, and if it's not gunfire, they won't send an alert. We're only getting alerts for gunfire.
Wow. And I'm assuming what you're saying is you're getting the alert from this device, and issuing a call for police to respond, and then I'm assuming you get 911 calls that kind of follow afterwards.
Yeah, so often we weren't. So Spot Shotter's formula is basically saying that 80% of all shots fired incidents go unreported. So these calls, we would never get a 911 report. So basically what we have is an app on our phone or an app on the mobile desktop terminal within a vehicle prior to any kind of 911 call. But again, 80% of calls, they're saying go unreported for shots fired. So this is an immediate response within 60 seconds. So even if you get a 911 call, it's probably 3 to 4 to 5 minutes by the time a caller makes the call. They notify the shots fired. The dispatch is able to put it in the computer, and they're able to dispatch it. So we're cutting down almost 4 minutes of response time by just having this technology.
So that's unbelievable. You're saying 80% of shots fired are going unreported. We're going unreported.
So that's their statistics. Obviously, we're only in our first month of this. That'll bear fruit throughout the year that we have this particular product. We'll be able to exactly determine how many 911 calls received versus how many ShotSpotter alerts we've had. But in the city, we have over 150 confirmed shots fired per year, over 250 just calls for shots fired that we're unable to confirm, 100 of those. I guess we're going to see what the statistics lay out, whether with respect to how many calls we're getting versus how many we're actually had in the city.
It's kind of interesting from neighborhood to neighborhood, right? So in Cornhill, maybe, or in West Utica, there are shots fired and nobody is responding. In North Utica or South Utica, if there's a muffler that the boom is created from, you're probably getting 20 phone calls. It just shows you how different neighborhoods have just allowed this, or unfortunately, this has evolved into something that is normalcy, gunshots going off.
Yeah, very true. But the first point you made was that even in those communities, these people demand and have a right to be safe, and we have a right and duty to keep them safe, right? So, regardless
I would
of where
think
you live, it shouldn't be that way.
And I would think that the majority of people they don't want this for their kids. They don't want this the violence in their neighborhoods. They want to be able to have places where they live that they are proud of and that they feel safe. That is, I truly believe that's the majority.
The overwhelming majority, and I would argue over 95% of the people. Nobody wants to have a bullet come through their window at 2 o'clock in the morning, such as
think about that.
I do have a listener question here, Lieutenant Curley. This is something that was submitted. Megan had emailed this to me the next time we had you on. She writes, I spoke with a man named Steven who lives around Bleecker Street. He called to tell us people are, quote, packing up and leaving the area due to surging violence. He wanted to know what happened to the proposal to put a UPD substation on South Street. Mentioned there was one on James that closed around 5 years ago or so. I believe talks to add the potential South Street substation preceded my arrival here. Is this something that you're familiar with or can look into next time the mayor or Lieutenant Curley is on the program? Do you think that having a substation, A, is it a possibility, or B, would it have some sort of help to have a presence of police permanently in some of these areas?
Yeah, I think that's a much longer, wide-ranging conversation with the community that we have to have. Where do they think it's most effective, if it is most effective? And I mean, let's be kind of quite honest. Utica isn't a huge city that one police department and one central location can't handle, right? We would have precincts had we need them. We have zones. We have delineated geographical areas that we can cover, with respect to call volume or population and things like that. So I think we do a pretty good job of covering where we need to cover now. If the community demands that, I suggest they have conversations. So we have monthly community outreach meetings. We have trust-building meetings. Obviously City Hall and mayor is always acceptable or easy to contact. The chief's easy to contact. I think just a simple yes or no answer doesn't really suffice in this. I think it's a much longer conversation that needs to be had with respect to more locations if they're needed.
Wow. All right. And ultimately that would happen by the Common Council would have to approve that to happen, right?
Yeah, and I mean, let's not forget the financial aspect of that too. To run another substation or a precinct 24 hours a day, it's not a small undertaking financially.
And let's not forget that there has been rumblings and talk about a brand new police station,
which is much needed. I
period,
presume.
Which is probably needed. So we'll see where all of that talk goes. Lieutenant, you guys busier than ever. We appreciate what you do, and thank you for the time this morning.
Bill, thanks for everything, and thanks for always supporting Crime Stoppers and our ability to have anonymous tips in that.
All right, and you can go to our website and search Crime Stoppers. You will find Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers. Very easy to send in a message, to send in a tip to police. It's an organization that actually helps make neighborhoods safer, and it's working. So take advantage of it. Lieutenant Curley, thank you. We appreciate it. Mazda has been winning races and building award-winning vehicles for over 100 years. And Ricky Z says right now at Steve Pawnee Mazda, drive a new 2024 Mazda CX-30 SE model for only $269 a month on a 36-month lease, or you can save with 0% or 0.9% APR financing on select new 2024 Mazdas. See Rick or anybody at the dealership for details. Let's make your deal on a new Mazda where it's always easy to do business. Steve Pawnee Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Coming up, we're going to speak with Dr. Rick Timms from SSFC, Statewide School Finance Consortium, on school aid, the foundation formula, which is currently being discussed, and the electric bus mess. There was a recent directive from the state DEC saying that they're putting at least a 2-year hold on the Electrification Act. Does that affect schools? Does DEC have the ability to actually, do they have the power to do that? Or does it have to go through the governor, the legislature? We'll speak with Dr. Rick Timms coming up in just a second. Stand by. We're coming right back in our makeshift studio here in New York City from WIBX.
Hey everyone, it's Lisa from Fit Body Boot Camp. It's October. That means it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And if you know me, I love to give back to our community. Are you a local business owner? If so, my team and I would love to challenge you to burpees for boobies. All you have to do is contact us for more information, and we can do burpees together. This year, we are donating every single penny to Making Strides of Utica. Want to nominate your friends to a challenge? Simply donate to nominate and help us reach our goal. Together, we can make a difference in the fight against breast cancer.
Is thinning hair or a receding hairline making you self-conscious? Try Hair Grow by New Nordic. Millions of men and women around the world trust Hair Grow. With its patented tocotrienol complex, Hair Grow naturally reduces inflammation in the scalp and is clinically proven to promote new hair growth and increase hair count in as little as 4 months. Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start looking and feeling your best with Hair Grow. Available online at Amazon, Walmart.com, and NewNordicUSA.com. Or in stores at your local CVS.
The deals are on for Columbus Day at Mattress Express. You've been putting off getting a new mattress. Money's tight, but you really need one. We've got the Inflation Buster, folks. Pick out anything in the store and take up to 5 years to pay with no money down. Yes, that includes Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, Sealy, Purple, Puffy, the Smart Bed by Instant Comfort, Posh & Lavish, and all massage chairs. See store for details. Now, how about this? Stearns & Foster traditional luxury. Save up to $800 on select sets. Save up to $600 on select Purple sets. $1,350 on Puffy sets. Yes, it only gets better. And how about this? Buy almost any king or queen set in the store and get a free adjustable base upgrade. If you've been waiting for delivery from another store, we get this a lot, bring it in. We probably carry the brand. We'll meet or beat the price and get it delivered quickly. All stores open 7 days a week. Don't forget our brand name low price guarantee. See you this weekend.
It's in Sarah's Flooring Outlet's anniversary sale with savings throughout the store.
Get 20%, 30%, up to 50% off through the end of the month during Sarah's anniversary sale.
It's the best time to get new flooring for your home or business at incredible anniversary savings.
Get 20% off select in-stock carpet at Sarah's.
Get 30% off select easy-to-care-for luxury vinyl tile.
And get 50% off select in-stock hardwood.
It's in Sarah's anniversary sale with savings throughout the store. Plus, as always, get interest-free financing for 6 months.
Get 20% off select in-stock carpet.
Get 30% off select luxury vinyl tile.
And get 50% off select in-stock hardwood at Sarah's. See why more people buy from the big store.
Sarah's Flooring Outlet.
Route 49 Plaza, River Road, Marcy, and Sarah's Flooring Outlet.com.
Let me tell you about Randall's Pharmacy in New Hartford. They are offering a new service to businesses, which really is a free service. Insurance will end up covering it. But and this is extremely important, as COVID is getting more and more prevalent, so is the flu and RSV and others that are airborne and even, I guess the two main ones we're dealing with, they do all the vaccinations, but the main ones are COVID and the flu. So they'll come to your workplace, and these are the two diseases that are out there each fall, of course, that most affect productivity at work and profitability. When you're shut down, when you get a spreader, super spreader, if you will, in your workplace, and all of a sudden everybody catches it and everybody's down, it's brutal for businesses to work with. They lose much of their staff because everybody's got it. So getting everybody vaccinated, obviously it's not mandated. If everybody at the workplace is saying, yeah, I'd rather get my flu shot, get my COVID shot, and get this out of the way, they will come to your workplace and offer the vaccines, flu and COVID, at your workplace. All you have to do is call them. 315-732-1615 is the number at Randall's Pharmacy. They will assist you. It could be a large business, a small business, but they will come to you. If you would like, you're an individual and you'd like the vaccines, they have all of them. Just call over or just stop in and visit. You can walk in and get the vaccine taken care of at Randall's Pharmacy in New Hartford. 315-732-1615 to set up a vaccination clinic at your workplace. Everybody's done all at the same time. 315-732-1615, Randall's Pharmacy in New Hartford.
Keeler in the Morning invites you to connect with us through telephonic communication at 315-736-0186. Or use the Call Us button on the WIBX 950 app. For additional contact methodologies, please refer to WIBX950.com.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, the official coffee of the Keeler in the Morning radio program is Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. Have you tried the avocado toast? It's on So Good from Daylight, and it's on French peasant bread from Heidelberg, available at Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. And Daylight will deliver to your workplace. You want coffee and donuts and bagels and all of that brought to your workplace, they will deliver. Call Daylight Donuts today. The official coffee of the Keeler in the Morning radio program. The drive-thru, of course, lightning fast. You're in, you're out, you're on your way. All right, Andrew, we're going to take you to the top here on Columbus Day. I want to bring in Dr. Rick Timms. And let's start with the issue of foundation aid, which is currently being studied to try to fix this problem once and for all. But what if it doesn't get fixed? Dr. Rick Timms, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
So tell us where
with foundation aid.
Where are we right now with foundation aid?
Well, right now it's being studied by the Rockefeller Institute for Government. They're a good study group. They're good researchers. They're out of Albany. They're taking a look at the formula, trying to find out what parts of the formula work, what parts work, what parts don't work. The big things I think they're interested in is making sure that the distribution of the aid is equitable. In other words, the districts that need the most aid gets the most money. So that's the concept. They also want to make sure that they're using the right metrics. You know, how do we measure poverty? How do we measure the needs of children? Those types of things. Part of the problem that's, I think, really making this more difficult is the governor has said, look, we have to make this affordable for the state. We have to make this affordable for school districts. And I think everybody understands that, but it's a constitutional obligation of the state to provide this aid to school districts. So it's under study. December 1st is when they're going to issue their report, and I think they're going to come up with a series of recommendations, and we'll see which ones the governor likes, which ones the legislature likes, and we'll see where it goes from there. But I think it's going to be a long, drawn-out process, to be honest with you.
Do you fear that some of these districts could find themselves in financial jeopardy based on the result of this?
Yeah, I think they will. Some school districts have lost enrollment. Some school districts have lost different demographics in terms of the types of kids. We've got a lot of schools now. We've had more homeless kids in New York State than ever before, so that's becoming a problem. We have more kids with special needs, things like this, so the costs are escalating. And I'm not so sure the aid formula is going to keep up with these escalating costs. And then there's a group of districts. There's about half the school districts in the state are called Save Harmless School Districts. In other words, the current formula says they shouldn't get as much money as they are getting. And if this is discontinued in some way, these districts could find themselves in serious financial jeopardy over, we'll say, the next 5-6 years.
I want to switch to something we heard last week. I know we've been talking to Utica Mac and others, ERL Intermodal, on the electrification act that is underway in New York State, which will go into effect for non-school situations. So for regular business, goes into effect at the end of the year. The DEC came out and said, listen, we're putting a pause on this for 2 years while we try to figure it out. I'm wondering, does the governor have to sign off on that? And how does that affect schools?
Well, we don't know. Actually, for schools, it's legislated. In other words, it's a law that they can't buy any other kind of bus other than an electric bus starting in the 27 year. So that would affect probably the 26-27 school year if they're going to buy it after January 27, or it would affect the 27-28 school year if they decide to buy it later on in the year.
Yeah.
So the big problem here is it is a law. So I don't see the DEC enabling us to circumvent the law. But one of the things that's going to happen here is and I haven't found anyone opposed to having zero emission buses per se.
Right.
Other than the cost of them. They're 2.5 times the cost of a regular bus. Sometimes some of the routes, especially in rural areas, there's not enough juice to get the kids to back and forth to school with the same bus. They're hard to recharge and the maintenance and all the rest of it. And supposedly there's supposed to be cost savings over time against diesel fuel. But the problem we've got is we don't think that the power companies are going to have enough power to power all the school districts in the state of New York. So I think
that has become that really has become the issue. Is the infrastructure there? And right now it is not. This is to be continued. I appreciate the quick hit this morning, Dr. Rick Timms. Thank you. Have a great day, and we will do it again.
Sounds great. Thanks.
All right. Andrew, back here in studio tomorrow morning. Go Bills.
Drive safe. Go Bills.
From the Stanley Theater Studios, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
Bolstering Israel's Iron Dome. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The U.S. is going to send a missile defense system and American troops to operate it. Meanwhile, today,
Israel has intercepted 2 drones fired from Syria, and Hezbollah continues firing on northern and central Israel.
The day after a Hezbollah drone hit an Israeli military base.
This morning, Defense Minister Yoav Gallant visited the Army base where 4 soldiers were killed. 7 others are seriously wounded. Dozens more are injured.
Fox's Nate Foy in Tel Aviv. In Lebanon, the Red Cross says an Israeli strikes killed 18 people. The United Nations is upset about this.
2 Israeli tanks destroyed the main gate of their base. Then later, smokescreen rounds caused 15 peacekeepers to suffer skin irritations and gastrointestinal reactions. Israel's military says it encroached on a UNIFIL position while evacuating soldiers injured by Hezbollah.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. Vice President Harris and former President Trump will both campaign in Pennsylvania. After trips to other toss-up states, Harris said in North Carolina,
he refuses to release his medical records. I've done it.
Also criticizing a rival for refusing to debate her again. The former president rallied in Arizona. Trump's running mate, J.D. Vance, had a confrontation on TV.
People are terrified by what has happened with some of these Venezuelan gangs.
Senator Vance, I'm going to stop you because I know exactly what happened.
Martha Raddatz interrupted Vance on ABC's This Week as they discussed illegal migrant activity in Aurora, Colorado.
The incidents were limited to a handful of apartment complexes, and the mayor said our dedicated police officers have acted on those concerns.
Martha, do you hear yourself? Only a handful of apartment complexes in America were taken over by Venezuelan gangs, and Donald Trump is the problem and not Kamala Harris's open border?
Rivers remain at or near flood stage in Florida after Hurricane Milton. There's still more than 400,000 power outages. America's listening to Fox News.
Life takes a toll on our bodies, no way around it. Whether it's sitting hours on end at your computer or working a physical job, over time, your body pays the price. There is, however, an effective way to turn back the clock on pain. Relief Factor. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor helps support your body's response to inflammation. The difference, instead of masking pain, Relief Factor helps eliminate it for good. And it's 100% drug-free. If the pains that come with living a full life are affecting you, do as so many others have. Turn back the clock on pain with Relief Factor. Their 3-week quick start is just $19.95, less than $1 a day. When you feel good, it's amazing how much more you get out of life. So visit ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Try it for only $19.95. While we can't stop aging, not yet. We can stop pain. Turn back the clock with Relief Factor.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM News Time 9:03. I'm Andrew Dominio.